Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
What's going on, everybody? Your boy Trigger Mike is back. We could call this lunch break streaming or whatever you call it. Either way, I got a long ass lunch break, man. I work from home, getting errands done today, but I'm glad to be back with y'all. I hope y'all in the building. Glad to be back with me. Let's get these people rolling in here. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Shout out and salute to the viewers nationwide and international. Thank y'all for coming. I know y'all could be anywhere on YouTube, but you here with your dog. I am back. Tell everybody, go ahead and share this information out. Make sure you like the stream if you have not for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you have not to the Lapeef Network and share this information out. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers and we need your help. There's no reason the Lapeef Network shouldn't have 1 million subscribers by now. It is the hottest network on YouTube, giving you all the fire live content. King Talk last night was fire. If you weren't there, you missed it. Go ahead and recap that. Watch it after the Trigger Mike Show, of course. That was a fire panel. Ricky came back. We had Black Spider Guy, all of our panelists, Shan, Luis, Hink, everybody was on fire last night with their responses. So that was definitely one to see. So go ahead and run that back after you watch the Trigger Mike Show today. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? It's been a moment. It's been a while. You know, I tried streaming at night, but that's crowded. Damn, the nights are crowded. I like the daytime. I like just being a panelist at night. Trying to host something at nighttime, I'm yawning and stuff. My kids in the other rooms making noise. I like streaming when they are not here. I'm going to go hit that Dayquil in a moment, but I'm glad to be back with y'all. We see people coming in. Everybody like, oh, snap. We back. Yeah, damn right we back. Trigger Mike is back. I see y'all in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Get that Teej pack. Father's Day is coming up. And I know the stores aren't going to do it up like they did for Mother's Day. But if you want to get your father something, if he's a relatively young man, Sean Antonio sells hoodies. I think he said he's running a Father's Day special of some sort. Even if he isn't, I want you to support that panelist. Get one of those dope hoodies for the man in your life, your brother, your husband, boyfriend, your boyfriend and your husband. Y'all know how y'all get down. Anyway, was that a shot? Okay, my bad. Was that a shot? But anyway, yes, please get those Father's Day gifts. Those are two excellent ideas. Grab a Rich Bully hoodie from Sean Antonio's website. Dang, I forgot the website, but yeah, watch the show last night. At the end of the show, he dropped that link, dropped the website for you, and get a Teej pack. Male skincare is it's sexy too. Okay, it's sexy too. I love when my skin feels hydrated and not overly dry from moisturizing. All right, so yeah, that's what we got. And as always, if you happy to see me back, please show your support. Support the show. We always accept super chats and any support you can give to the show. If you are watching after the broadcast is over, you can support via super thanks. If you like what I say or any of the panelists that come up, have to say. Shout out to you for doing that. And we always appreciate any support you can give on the show. We are back. I'm going to try to come back at my lunch hour every day. Every day. This is a show that has taken its own shape, right? I do my monologue, and then we have a panel. So I don't always have to be present for the panel. At some point, when I get somebody, I'm going to get a co-host up here with me. We're looking at a few people right now. But we also want it to be balanced. And anybody that I rock with, any of my Chic Critique people that want to come up and help me co-host, you ain't doing nothing, no way. You sitting in the house drying your nails. Y'all bring y'all ass up here too. I already see y'all in the chat. Mistaken and Enos. And Enos probably at work. Mistaken off for the summer. You might as well be up here. Otherwise, you're probably getting into trouble. All right. So who we got in the chat? Shout out to the chat. For sure, for sure. Dale, Matthew, always faithful. Appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Smash that like for Trigger Mike. I appreciate it. Jill's Chocolate Boutique. How you doing? Sugarfoot, Chocolate Boutique. Y'all don't, yo, I'm better than a rapper with these metaphors. I'm joking. I'm not, but you know what I mean. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome. Bear the Boxer. What's going on? Green Gang in the building. Enos. What's going on? Girl, you better pay attention at work. You know you at work. Hopefully you at lunch. Hopefully you got your earbuds in and nobody can see the title of this. They're going to be like, what the hell are you watching? What's going on, Eugene Steele? How you doing? How you doing? Cold Blood Rottweilers. What's up? Mistaken. When I drop that link, bring your ass on up here. Ed Hill. What's going on? Clement. My man. How you doing? How are you? All right. We got RP Tipsy Nomad. What's going on? Kenny. Oh man, I'm so glad to be back with y'all. Y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand this work from home grind. I actually do most of my work the same as I did in that other job at night. I do most of my work at night. Ain't nothing going on in the daytime. But people talking and trying to sound smart and shit. I've been done prove myself. I got the top spot now. I just let the little people talk. Cause they just, no matter what age, people just bicker with each other. It's ridiculous. I let them do that. I'll respond later. But it's good to be back with y'all. My man EBD in the building. What's going on? Lorenzo. What's up? What's up? All right, let's get into it, man. I know y'all saw my man Marv says, shout out to the Miami Heat. When is the first game of the NBA Finals? That's tomorrow, right? Because I'm not missing it. That's for damn sure. I'm not missing it. Rodney, what's going on, my man? Thank you for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show. We appreciate your patronage and all of our loyal supporters. Make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to all the hot content the Lapeef Network has coming out. Thursday. Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, bet. Who y'all got? Let's talk about that just real quick. Ladies, don't leave us. Who y'all got for the NBA Finals, Denver or the Heat? Before I tell y'all who I got. What's going on, Mr. Rich? I see you in there. I'm going to drop the link shortly. Please come up and talk to us about this. Who y'all got in the NBA Finals? My man Ed Hill says the Heat in 6. Joshua says Denver. Whoa, Nuggets in 5? In 5? You know what? I would have said the same thing. Let me not gonna lie. I got the Nuggets. The Nuggets. They finally are at where they were supposed to be. Because they have been a top-notch team. There's nothing you can do with a center like Jokic when he's launching threes from the free throw line. There's nothing you can do when they're at full swing. They win all the games they're supposed to win damn near. So they won the whole show this time. I don't see how anybody can really beat them. But somehow, and listen to me, somehow Jimmy Butler just finds a way. That's what I'm talking about. Himmy buckets. So if he ends up pulling some kind of upset, getting somebody in foul trouble, I don't even understand why people don't notice. Jimmy Buckets got more of a killer instinct in him than LeBron. I said that. Jimmy Buckets got like a baby Michael Jordan instinct in him. This dude just willed his team to win. God, They don't even got Tyler Herro. Wait, Tyler Herro, wasn't he the second best scorer on the team? They don't even have number 2. And they made it all the way. Because Jimmy Buckets just be dropping them on their head. He got more of a killer instinct than LeBron. Damn. They were the 8th seed. Right? They were the 8th seed? Come on, man. So I'm not going to count them out. But the Nuggets are too stacked. They're too stacked. Jamal Murray, walking bucket. Jokic, stretch 5. He's slow as all hell, but for some reason, he'll shoot over you and swish right in your face. Michael Porter Jr. running all over the place, moving without the ball. Aaron Gordon. Damn, no, they probably gonna win this. But let's get into what we came to talk about today, man. So as y'all know, my title is usually to provoke people. My name is Trigger Mike after all. So this is Mistaken's topic, why women wash dishes. She got upset because I sent a picture of my daughter washing dishes like 2 Sundays ago on her little stool. And I was inspired. To bring this topic up because we have this discussion a lot. And I don't think there's just a surface level discussion that needs to be had on this. I think this is actually a deep discussion to have because one of the things that we do is conflate a lot of the circumstances we have in modern society with what should be happening inside of the home. The home is a traditional zone, if y'all didn't know. There's a reason things have not changed for a millennia or more. There's a reason for that. And I know women are pushing, but I have something different. I'm going to attack this from a different angle. The title is Why Women Wash Dishes. My titles are formulated to provoke your insecurities. But my dialogue is supposed to provoke your intellect. So as we get into this discussion a little deeper, I want the ladies to come in and join, and I want you to tell us your thoughts on it. Because I think this is a little deeper than wash the damn dishes, you're a woman. That's not what I'm saying here. That's not even what I mean. I want to get down to what's deeply rooted so we can stop having this circular ass discussion about women and domestic duties and men and what they should be doing. Because I think it has the ability to destroy families by destroying the woman's mindset. But I got some stuff for y'all, man. I put this one together, and I think it's put together pretty well. So I'm gonna get about halfway through the monologue, then I'm gonna drop the link for y'all. For anybody that wants to come up, y'all know I'm very eager to see my people. Damn, I've missed y'all. Don't know why the hell I went back to this corporate space with all these crazy ass people. I was good where I was at, but I can't just be doing things that don't make money for a large amount of time. And one of the things I'm actually going to do, in addition to this, I'm going to go to day trading school. I need to learn how to trade during the day because even though I work and I stream, I still feel like I got time on my hands. So anybody that can recommend a good day trading guru, anybody that's good at day trading like that, because TD Ameritrade, they slow. I'm trying to get in the market myself. Anybody that knows how to use ChatGPT to day trade, send me that guru's name. Put their information in the chat and I shall follow up with them. I need to be making money while I'm sitting my ass down. Several facets from several different avenues. But let's get back into the topic. Why women wash dishes. Can I get y'all best guess? Oh, we got one. Imperfect Woman of God says, I like washing dishes. I love cleaning. Well, shout out to you, but you are a diamond in the rough these days. You are a diamond in the rough. Before I begin, can y'all give me your best guess? And remember, washing dishes is just a placeholder for domestic duties. Why women do most domestic duties. Why do y'all believe women do most domestic duties? Daryl Brown says, had to walk my woman through a kitchen cleaning just last night. Woo! Anissa, what's going on? How you doing? My lady, it's really simple. Women can do these things, but if you require her to work outside the home, she may need your help. That's incorrect. Not necessarily incorrect. You may want that to happen, but women today don't necessarily work harder than women did back then. And those women didn't require help. So she may need your help. You're right. Or let me put it this way. She may want your help. She don't need help. Unless you are willing to admit that you are weaker than your ancestors, you don't need help. If you are willing to admit that you are mentally weaker than all of the women that came before you, you can say you want help. You don't need help. I got a robot vacuum. I got a top of the line dishwasher. The stove is a little lower. When they built the house, they said they had to give us money for the fridge because there was a fridge shortage. We moved in here in 2020. Y'all remember that? They gave us, now that I'm realizing it's a doo-doo ass stove, but they said they didn't have the dishwasher to match, so they gave us an upgrade. So I got a pristine, top of the line, techno wash dishwasher. I don't know what the hell y'all complaining about. Y'all got all this technology. Y'all got Made Pro. Y'all make all this money. You got Made Pro. Y'all don't need no damn help. Not from a man anyway. Carlton Banks says, y'all want slaves. That ain't no goddamn man. Change your name back. All these fake accounts. You ain't no man. That's not a man. If you think that's a woman, put a 1 in the chat. Washing dishes equals slavery. What kind of man says that? Men don't talk like this. Y'all not slick. Y'all are not slick. Men don't talk like this. Damn woman. Witty Jim says, because we'd rather do that than take out the garbage. I think so. I think you would rather do that than do anything outside other than gardening in the shade. I think y'all would rather do that. So that's a good one. Eugene Steele says, because the men are out here busting our hours for 8 hours or more. You know, that is really interesting. Because women like to argue that they work too, but you don't ever work as many hours as men. And you shouldn't be. Y'all get tired and complain from a 36 to 40-hour work week. Let me tell y'all something, man. That's important to know. I'm going to put this back up for Eugene Steele. Because I'm lucky enough to have the intellect to work with my mind and not my hands. But I can work with these hands too. I own a business where I'm doing all type of outdoor work. All right, I'm shooting in extreme heat. I'm teaching other people how to shoot. We're doing it in the heat to put them under duress so they can maintain focus in high stress situations, right? So I'll do all that. I can do all of that. But the dudes that do work blue collar jobs, just last night I was in the Lapeef group talking to someone about the effects AI will have on the female workforce and how they work the jobs. I don't care what y'all say. Women work primarily admin jobs, admin assistant. All of this stuff is going to be has negative exposure to generative AI. All right. So men working with their hands, yes, it can affect them too, but not as great to a degree. Even Ikene said that they started using machines to try to build the engines for planes, and the machines were messing up because of the minute detail work that needed to be done. So they put humans back in. So men be busting their ass. I used to average 118 hours of pay period in the hospital. Always wanted to do more, but they be sending my ass home. If you one of them dudes that work so much that they got to send your ass home from the job site, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. I know y'all say y'all be working, and I don't want to disparage any woman who does an honest day's work, because just my car is at the dealership getting recall service on it. And the lady that drove me home was 70 years old in the courtesy vehicle, the shuttle. Okay, that weren't redneck lady. All right, that lady's 70 years old. She said that. So that lady's working. So I never want to disparage a working woman. But y'all ain't working like we work. 118 hours of pay period was my average. And I became a staffing coordinator after that. I moved into the admin. So I was able to see my average. I'd have stayed in that thing 16 hours a day every day if they'd have let me. But that's like labor. There's a labor law against that. They'd send my ass home immediately. I averaged a double. Okay. So when y'all say y'all work too, that 36 to 40 y'all be talking about, I don't want to hear it unless y'all gonna ratchet that up to beyond 60 hours a week. Y'all better do that little 40. Get out of my face. What up with y'all? What up with y'all? All right, let me get into it, man. So the title and the topic for today's show is why women wash dishes, among other domestic duties. So back in the day, there used to be an expression. Hide this comment real quick. Back in the day, there used to be an expression. All right. That expression went like this. What you won't do, another woman will. I heard my mom tell this to, she was good friends with a lady that lived upstairs. Yeah. And we were friends with her kids. And she was having issues with her husband. And while the husbands were at work, he was in the Navy. My dad was driving cabs or something like that. They would just talk and act like the kids couldn't hear. But I heard everything they used to talk about. And, she was saying all this crazy stuff. And my mom was like, well, in her African, what you don't do, you better think carefully, bide your time, think it through, because you're acting like he won't drop you because you're just some phenomenal woman. And my mom, a Nigerian woman with no recollection of any American norms or that American women even said this or use this type of language, said, what you won't do, another woman will. So don't make yourself dispensable in your own home. That's what she said. Have y'all noticed that women started using that? They switched that around. I've been hearing that for decades. Women talking about what you won't do, another man will. That is incorrect. That is false, ladies. As you can clearly see in the black community, another man ain't willing to do shit for y'all. If you get a good one, you better hold on tight. You better grip that. You ain't getting another one. 90-something% of y'all ain't getting another one. What you won't do, another man will. No, the hell he won't. Unless you are talking about sex, another man ain't going to do nothing. You got your man. You married to somebody already. That's the way we look at it. Especially if you got kids by him. That's your man. I don't necessarily want those problems. It is extremely hard to find a man if the situation involves money, rearing children, dealing with stress, or marrying a woman with children. Not every man going to do that. So you can't be out here just talking like men do. What you won't do, another man will. That's not correct. What you won't do, another woman will. So I bring that up for a reason. That's why I told that story. Women have always traditionally been appreciative of the fact that a man is willing to keep her around. Y'all have lost that. I'll repeat. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. All the old school ladies, women have always traditionally been appreciative of the fact that a man is willing to keep her around. These types of women understand the nature of men, one, and the value. That's the part that I'm trying to teach y'all. Secondly, the value of men. When you understand that you actually got a good one, when you're actually with him, and how hard it is to find another version of him, women have always been super appreciative of that, super protective of that, super honored by that, coveted by that fact. This man chose me, and he is extremely hard to find. And you are thankful and grateful that he is willing to keep you around, that he keeps coming home to the same bed every damn day. All right. So cooking, washing dishes, washing clothes, folding clothes, vacuuming, and other chores are what traditional women view as their reasonable service to the family. Somehow, women have always done a majority of these things. The last thing that I saw, women still do a majority of these chores. If you're a woman that does these chores in your home, go ahead and put a one in the chat. Let us know. Don't matter if you like it or not, but if you do it and you got a man at the crib, put a one in the chat. And even if you don't, if you expect to do it, you can still put a one in the chat. All right. Mrs. She said, how you doing? Oh, I already know what you about. I don't even have to ask. All right. So the reason I brought that up about those traditional duties, domestic duties that women are doing, the point that I want to make to the ladies to drive this point home. Daryl Brown says quiet. I think because I phrased it, marriage is actually pretty rare these days. I know we had one person that said she loves cleaning and washing dishes, but marriage is pretty rare. So, and these women are very proud. So some of them not going to admit it that they do. And trust me, if it doesn't speak highly of you if your man is cleaning the house. I'm sorry. If y'all think that's a flex, if you think it's a flex that company or your parents come over and your man is cleaning the house, that is not a flex, ladies. And I'm actually going to prove it to you in the remaining parts of my monologue. For those people that want to come up and chat with your boy, now that I'm back, I'm dropping a link in the chat as well. I'll be up with you in a second. The market sets the rate, ladies and gentlemen. The market sets the rate. And what I mean by that, I want to highlight 3 ethnic groups of women right now. There are 600, and it's really more than that by now. There are 605 million women in India. There are 715 million women in Africa. There are over 660 million women in China alone. This amounts to over 2 billion women just from those 3 areas. The majority of the women in the world, which is them, they make up the majority of the women in the world, do domestic duties without complaint to their husband. I ain't gonna say without complaint. I'm not gonna say all of them like it, but they don't complain to their husband about it. So the market sets the rate. They are the market because there's more of them. Some of those women, as you can clearly see, live in this country now, along with Mexican women, along with South American women. So the more of them come in this country, they're going to show y'all asses up if y'all don't get y'all mind right. The market sets the rate. Reason number 1, women wash dishes and perform other domestic duties. You're always in competition for your man. If he has to do all those things for himself, why does he need you? Why does he need you? Somebody, anybody. Why does he need you? Please help me out. He don't need you. If he got to do all that shit, he don't need you. Women do their reasonable service so their man will keep them around. Because if he had to do it himself, he does not need you there. As you can clearly see, box is plentiful. Women are plentiful and available to capable men. So if he's doing all of that in his own house for himself, he don't need you. Reason number one. Reason number two. I need an answer. This is actually a question for the chat and everybody. I need an answer for this. Aren't women supposed to be clean and tidy anyway? That's a question. Yes or no in the chat. Aren't women supposed to be clean and tidy individuals anyway? Aren't they supposed to cook more than they eat out to keep their weight down? So that clean and tidy, fit and friendly woman can always be desirable to a man. Aren't they supposed to be clean anyway? I could be wrong. I'm asking. Y'all supposed to be clean anyway, tidy anyway. Fellas, have you look? I've never had this happen, but I always found it to be like a special part of any dating process when the girl got comfortable enough to be like, well, you could come over to the crib. Like I remember I used to what was that show? I used to invite girls over for Scandal nights. Like that was my thing. Everybody watched Scandal. I knew everybody watched Scandal. So even when a woman was coming over to my crib, I made sure it was in pristine condition, vacuumed, made sure the bathroom was clear because you know women only like to use clean bathroom. Everything spotless, smelling good, candle lit. If I would have went over to a woman's house and it looked like shit, courtship over. We don't go together no more. The hell's wrong with you? We don't go together no more. Women are supposed to be clean and tidy. So if you cleaning your own spot, what the hell is wrong with you cleaning our spot? Ooh, I'm getting somewhere, ain't I? We're going to talk about it. I see y'all in the back. Just hold on for me 1 second. This is number 3. You know, hey, Tiffany, I agree with you. Humans are supposed to be clean and tidy. But remember the order in which I said it. Women do this work so men don't have to. Because if he had to, what the hell does he need you for? If most of the women in the world clean without complaint, he's just going to get one of those women. Any man that's dealing with this and your wife is complaining too much and y'all don't have kids, you may want to consider, or if you're not even married, kicking her ass out the house and go getting you a woman that don't complain, that would die before she let you touch a dish. There are more of those women than there are these complaining ass women in America. I tried to lay it out statistically for y'all. Number 3 reason why women do dishes and domestic duties. You are mothers. You're either a prospective mother or you're already a mother. The example you set with your cleanliness, your tidiness, a large part of your children's health is you cooking and serving them food. Y'all see all these fat ass kids walking around here? Do y'all see these kids? They big as hell because their mamas don't cook. And if they cook, they're cooking with fat back. They're not making them healthy meals. You're supposed to have this part squared away. All right. I want to tell one little story. And let me bring the fellas up. What's going on? Let me get a thumbs up from y'all so I know it's y'all real quick. All right, bet. I'm going to tell this story. What's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today?
What's going on, Mike?
I'm good. I'm going to tell this story just to put into perspective real quick. How you are always in competition for your man. My wife hates this story because she gets visibly pissed every single time I tell it. But This is how women, if you are a woman that doesn't cook and clean, my wife does, so I'm not talking about me. This is when we were still, I don't know, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't like to say dating. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. I have a buddy, my college roommate used to come to Houston every Martin Luther King Day. MLK weekend was serious here. I haven't been out in a while, so I don't know if it's still like that. But we'd be at Dreams, we'd be at V Live, we'd be at Prospect Park. We was living it up. He came like 3 MLK weekends in a row. He's from LA. He had a childhood friend that moved here. And the first time he came, he was like, yo, it's cool. She come through. She got a daughter, so she can't come out with us. But her and her daughter going to come over here. They want to see me and cook breakfast. I was like, that's cool. So I actually invited my girlfriend, which is now my wife. I was like, yeah, they can meet each other. I was like, yeah, I got to chill with her, with my girlfriend anyway. So everybody could come through. My girlfriend couldn't make it. She was babysitting her niece and nephew. So the girl comes over and, you know, she's chopping it up with my homeboy and everything's good. And she's talking to me too. I'm like, hey, yeah, what's up? So they said they were going to bring breakfast over and cook. She opens my fridge and where I got my pot set. And she was like, you said you had a girlfriend? She don't keep food in your fridge? She don't keep your fridge, like she don't cook over here. Where's your leftovers at? I didn't think nothing of it. Nothing. I didn't think anything of it. She kept saying this like throughout the whole day. Like, your girlfriend don't do this, your girlfriend don't do that. And what I realized is first off, my girlfriend did do all of those things. I just spent a majority of my time at her crib. She lived with her sister and her niece and nephew, so I never wanted her to have a babysitting situation. Plus, I like spending time with them anyway, so I was at her crib all the time. So she cooked there, I'd eat there, I'd even go to work from there. So I forgot how my wife found out, actually. I think they actually met, and she tried that again. But she said it to her face or something like that. So women will try to use the fact that you are not doing domestic duties as a way to try to get your man from you. Ladies, play around if you want to. I'm telling you, if a man has to do all of this stuff himself, the easiest way for a man to take interest in another woman is that woman saying she could do that stuff for him. I understand you may not like it, but if y'all making all this damn money, Maid Pro ain't that much money. I'm just saying. What y'all got on the topic? Mr. Rich, what's going on?
Yeah, man, what's going on, man? Good topic. I mean, I like the euphemism about the dishwashing. I've been married for a long time, so my wife does her thing. But just speaking about the dishes, I haven't touched a dish in maybe 30 years.
Yep.
I swear, but she got a dishwasher and all that kind of stuff. But if you broaden that for the real conversation, she does some domestic duties. But for the first few years of our marriage, maybe 6 or 7, she was working.
Yep.
So the real thing is two people are working.
Yep.
I think one of the biggest disconnects we have is how close to tradition, what does a traditional marriage mean in the modern era? And if you're a man, women use this thing as a weapon. If she has to work, they use it as a weapon that she shouldn't do domestic duties. That's wrong.
Yep.
But it's also wrong that if you're a man and your woman has to pay any amount to keep you guys afloat, you guys got to compromise on the domestic situation. You do. The only square a man needs to stand on is his leadership. So she does the dishes, you take out the garbage. You wash your own clothes, she wash her clothes. I mean, I wash my own clothes, even when
I
my
wash my
wife
own
is
clothes
home.
too.
Right? Yeah, because we have different metrics, different timing. When my kids were able to wash their own clothes, they washed their own clothes. They brought them upstairs and they folded them and put them away. So these things, so does that make me less traditional just because I wash some clothes? I have work. I mean, I don't know if in your house, I bet you have like a man cave. That's your cave, whatever. The place that you spend your most time with, your office or whatever. I wouldn't ask my wife to clean my office. I'm in there all the time. I clean it, right? I mean, I keep it neat. right? So these are the kind of things I wouldn't expect my wife to come in my office and clean it for me. As long as the rest of the house is taken care of. I clean my man cave. I clean that up because I'm in there all the time. I bring food in there from time to time. I bring beer cans and all that shit. My friends, when they come over, that's where they stay. So she doesn't need to clean that up. I don't feel it's a affront to my manhood to clean that up, whether I pay for all the bills or not. You know, uh, so I think that's where we got to get off of this thing. This is what I do and what you do, because that should just be a conversation, a simple
Mhm.
conversation before you get married.
Yep.
So I mean, that's where I stand on this whole situation. I think we complicate matters because people that social media and all these people, sycophants, not sycophants, but people, demigods on the internet kind of rule their life. And I think that's a big mistake.
Yep. Furious Styles, what's going on, my man?
What up, brother?
I'm chilling. What are your opening thoughts on the topic?
Man, I think the initial outlook is from the traditional standpoint, but the further we get away from those years, the less traditional men and women are both becoming. And so I really kind of feel like, man, just whatever works for your household. Like I do the majority of cooking in my house. I don't clean no dishes, but I do the majority of the cooking. And just like Mr. Payne said, man, I got my own little space in my house, and you know, I'm the one that cleans that space. I'm in that space most of the time. Sometimes my kids are in there with me, but when my kids are in there, I'm in there. So if it's messed up on my watch, then I ain't got no problem with cleaning it.
Yep. I actually agree with that. And the funny thing is that there was a chart. I'm gonna see if I can find it. There was a chart that basically showed how much chores men actually do. And women were saying, that's not enough. It needs to be equal. It needs to be. And I was like, ladies, you need to understand that everything on this chart, other than probably garbage and outdoor work, used to be zero. It used to be zero. So I think it's actually come out as far as it's ever going to come out, because outside of, women working, and here's the worst part about it. I understand the working part, but remember, men aren't sending their woman to work. They ask for this. They legit ask for this. Men are not sending their woman to work. I don't know one man that's been like, you go to work so we can have blank. No, I've not met one man that does that. They fought for their right to work because they want to be us. This is my issue with this. And I think you said it, Mr. Payne, where you said that they're using it as a weapon because they want to see themselves as us. And I'm going to find this clip from yesterday from Facebook to show y'all what I'm talking about. But I do have some questions here. I'm going to drop the link again for anybody else that want to come up. But we got opening thoughts, and I'm going to get the first question. Mr. Payne, we're going to start with you. Why are modern women against cooking and cleaning?
They just, it's they're all product of the feminist and social engineering of the modern era. I mean, because it really doesn't make any sense, right? If you're going to live in a spot, right? If they didn't have a husband, they didn't have a man in their life, who's going to clean the house? They would, right? I mean, that's the kind of thing. I told my wife, my fiance at the time, I'm not marrying you just because I need you to cook. Because just like this brother here, Furious talked about, I do a lot of the cooking. And in my house, my wife never touches the grill. Nobody, nobody ever touches the grill. That belongs to me, right?
Never, never.
Right, well,
Leave my grill alone.
I just thought about that. Nobody touched the grill but me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my grill.
So I mean, so when women say that, they have ulterior motive for saying that, and they're just hypnotized into this modern era bullshit. Because again, no matter what they think, if they have the man that they want, or the man that they need to cleave to, all of that stuff is a compromise. Don't tell me you're going to be my wife and you're not going to clean anything. Does that make any? It doesn't make any sense. It's not even really an argument. You know, and so the only other part I have a real problem with is these women will let a guy bust them down, and there's no more submissive position a woman is in than when you're having sex with her. And then, you know, you're doing all kinds of shit, flipping her upside down. She's doing all kinds of shit and gymnastics. And then you say, honey, can you make me a sandwich? Nah, man, you get the hell out of here. You know, I can't make you, I can let you do all this freaky shit, but I'm not going to make you a sandwich. This shit don't make any sense. It just doesn't. It's like, anyway, so that's where I'll just land it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And of course, if you're vetting and courting a woman for marriage, she's eliminated. A woman who would answer that is just eliminated. You just got to move on to the next chick.
All right, Furious Styles, question for you: why are modern women against cooking and cleaning?
Man, like I stated before, the further away from those times we get, the more modern we become. But I think a big part of it, man, is pride. You know, these women are so prideful to these days to where, you know, they got too much pride to do anything for a man, and it's always the narrative that you know, I'm not gonna show wifely qualities till he put a ring on my hand. Fellas understand that if you don't show no wifely qualities, you ain't getting the ring.
You ain't getting that
You
goddamn.
ain't getting no goddamn ring. That's exactly right. You ain't getting no ring.
I mean, short of childbearing. I mean, because I'm a Christian man. I believe in God, and I believe that things are to be done the way they're spelled out in the Bible. So, you know, short of that, but if you can't show some type of wifely quality, I have no umption to give you a ring.
All right, EBD, my man, what's going on?
What's up? Welcome back, bro.
Yeah, there you go,
Let me
right?
get
Just keep it real short and simple. Modern women are against cooking and cleaning because they no longer wish to be wives. They to be a wife, these things aren't a question. These things are simply done. Men don't negotiate their positions when it comes to a relationship. We provide pretty much 100% of everything. When we choose a woman to marry, or even a woman to date, woman to sleep, like there's differences, right? Different levels. Girl you meet every day is not the woman you're sleeping with. The woman you're sleeping with isn't the person you date, and the person you date isn't your wife, and your wife isn't any of the previous women before in those stages, right? So what we have a serious problem is that they want to be able to have the end result of a wife. They want to be treated like a wife when you're having sex. They want to be treated like a wife when you're the girlfriend. They want to be treated like a wife when you're dating. But when they actually are a wife, they don't want to do any shit that's required by a wife, you know, for her husband. So it's all kind of out of order. And of course, social media is a big part of that. Only because in the sisterhood, as we call it, they lie to each other and they lie to themselves, and they perpetuate the lie across the entire community to say that good women who are good wives are quote unquote oppressed or secretly abused or somehow unhappy and haven't found themselves. They're trying to convince good women that being good to a man is something less than. That's the problem. Then their mindset is completely out of order. You can only blame reality television for that. They really do follow. You have to think about it. These women are watching Basketball Wives, Real Housewives, and none of these women are acting or behaving like wives. So this is a problem. It's what do you call it? Deviancy to the highest degree. It means that you no longer are required to do what society or traditions has asked you to do, and that your mother had no problem doing, that your grandmother had no problem doing, that your great grandmother had no problem doing. You know, they proudly serve their men. They proudly stand aside beside their men, not in front of their men, giving them a bunch of crap. If a woman stands in front of a man, it is to prevent him from proceeding and moving forward to his purpose. His purpose provides for not only himself, but this whole family, including the wife. So we have a serious problem when women think that their purpose is to conquer or quote unquote humble or discipline a man. And that's just not going to happen. I mean, a simp, they walk all over them. They use them for money. And simps are actually the problem too, because simps are co-signing this shit. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. That's okay. I'll do it. Just be my woman and give me some nene, and then we'll be good. I mean, it's desperation. It's that, and that's not part of, like, that's really not a part of manhood. It never really is, right? It's only supposed to be a few minority, but this is a growing significant problem where these simps cater to these women, and these women think that take this simp and say, we need to apply it to everyone so that we can shape and mold men how we want to. And that's just not how it works.
Nice. All right. Trey, what's going on with you?
What's going on?
Chilling, bro. Why do you think modern women are against cooking and cleaning?
They don't know how to do it.
Oh, shit.
Nobody taught them.
Simple enough.
Right? Big Mama didn't teach her mother, and these mothers didn't teach their kids. They have no idea how to do it. And I say that knowing, having walked in hundreds of homes of early 30s, late 20s single women, and going, whoa. I remember I was on duty one time, and this was like my second call when I was stationed in Alaska. I was stationed in Anchorage, Elmendorf Air Force Base. I think my second call. I was brand new, and we got a call basically to do a welfare check, and it was a married couple, but the husband was on deployment, so it was a wife. When I tell you, this house looked like somebody literally had just, like the Hulk had taken the house and just turned it upside down, and just like shook it around. There was trash bags in the garage that were stacked up to the ceiling, and flies were flying around. I want to tell you something about Alaska weather. Alaska's very cold, if nobody knows that. The fact that you have flies, it's almost impossible. It's impossible because it's 13 degrees outside. Yet she has flies flying around in her garage. And we really got a call for welfare because she had a child. And the air quality was so bad in there that the child was having a respiratory infection. This is a woman. It's like, I don't believe that a lot of these women actually even know how to clean. We see stuff about celebrities talking about they don't want to take showers. We've heard other celebrities talk about the hygiene between American women and foreign women. We've heard this over and over and over again. I think a lot of them just have no clue. I had been to a woman's house one time, and I wanted to, and I couldn't because I couldn't get over the smell of her home. Like I was just gonna throw up, and I had to find a way to get out of there.
If the house funky, the monkey probably funky. What y'all think?
I agree. I agree. And one of the things, and I'll just end with this, one of the things I always do is I always look at a woman's car first. I always look at her car first because more than likely she spends a lot of time in her car driving to and from. If her car is filthy, more than likely I'm just going to make the assumption that her home is filthy too. But to me, I think they're against it because a lot of them don't know how to cook. They don't have cookbooks. Grandmama never sat them down. They don't know how to do anything. So they push against it because it's an insecurity if they just don't know how to do it.
All right. Ashton, what's up, my man?
Trying to get it like you, Trigger.
That's what's up. All right, what you got on it?
To piggyback off Black Dragon, he said it's what do you say, reality TV? I know a lot of women that told them they say their grandmama told them go to college, you don't need no man, so they don't need to touch no dish. Let them keep doing what they doing. Marriage at the lowest it's ever been. Yeah, I mean if they like it, I love it. So.
All right. Shoot. Hey, as far as I think I gotta piggyback off of that too. So I think I gotta piggyback off of that too, because what Trey said is that not only are they not taught, and this is where I'm coming from with it. I think women are against it because they resent it, even the ones that can do it. And the reason is because, like Mr. Rich said, they're using the fact that they work jobs that black women have actually always done. They've always worked in some capacity. They worked harder than you. They were maids. Their work hours were ridiculous. Go read the journals. Go read the history. Their work hours were ridiculous. Sun up to sundown, if not more. All right. They had to have their sons come walk them from the other side of town and all of that. So read the history. You don't work harder than they did. And somehow they still managed to keep their houses clean and their daughters marriageable. That's a big part of it. But here's the thing that I'm going to actually come out and say. There is no amount of work that a man can do to help you to the point where you'll be satisfied, because it's not about him at all. Women just resent the fact that they have to do domestic work. We always on these panels saying that they're behaving in a masculine fashion. That means that they resent being feminine and everything that comes with the feminine woman. That's why they created the term pick me, because they're trying to set themselves apart. They're like, I'm something different other than that. So they resent the fact that they have to do domestic work. It ain't about us. I promise you. Most of these women out here that don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, they are resenting the whole fact that that is something associated with a woman in the first place.
Right.
They want to be you. They want to be a man. They literally want a man to come in and be like, I'll do that. You ain't got to worry about that. So I heard Furious Styles and Mr. Payne say they do most of the cooking. That a lot of men do. Do y'all not know men are more creative cooks than women?
Oh, yeah.
The most chefs in the world are men. That brunch you went to on Sunday, that menu was curated by a man. So if we wanted to cook, if we really wanted to learn how to do things, the grill masters of the world are men. Okay, so if we wanted to learn how to cook and take care of ourselves, we absolutely would. That's why I keep saying this is your reasonable service to the family and your children. That's why women took it over to say, let me take something off your plate. Let me take something off your back so you could keep me around. All right, but that's why they're against it, because they resent the fact that they have to do it. And another point that I want to make, if you are a woman struggling to accept that cooking and cleaning might be your role, fellas, is this wife material or no?
No.
You're not a wife.
No.
Just cancel that out. You're not a wife. Cancel that out. All right. I think
look, check Mike, I'm all for it. If you want to do 50-50, you want to get on a chore schedule, I'm all for it. But that means you're going to come outside and cut this grass with me. Yep. That means you're going to trim these bushes with me. That means that you're going to come clean these cobwebs and these spider webs out of the shed with me. That means you're going to change these brakes and change the oil on your car and change tires with me. See, a lot of these women, they talk 50-50. They only talk about the stuff that's inside the house. Yep. But when we start talking about outside the house, all of a sudden it's gender roles now. Or I don't want to get dirty. Or I don't want to be out there sweating. No, it's snowing. Grab a shovel, put your boots on.
Bring your
Let's
ass
go.
outside.
Let's go.
Well,
so which one you want?
I agree with you, Trey, but I think the most thing with women is when they say 50-50, they're mostly thinking about money.
Right.
They got to pay any money. That means, that there's no gender roles anymore. That's what they're saying. And, I just saw, the dreaded ass Ebony Williams. I saw a little thing where she said that, and she was talking to another lady. And she said if she was mad at Gabriel Union for going 50-50 with D Wade. And she says, well, if I get married, I'm not going on 50-50. Now, this woman is supposed to be a millionaire. So she expects not to pay any bills whatsoever at the $1 million level. How delusional is that? They have this chick, Sunny Holson, on the View. And she said the same. She said the same thing. She says, listen, how am I gonna send my kid to private school if my man can't afford it? And she makes $1 million a year. Well, this shit doesn't make any sense. I mean, these women are just so off that it's hard to argue. I got one more thing though, Sugar Mike.
Yep.
I hardly ever call women masculine because I think that's an affront to men. because when they're masculine, it's always negative and bad. That's the toxic masculinity that we're talking about. It's not masculine, it's something different when they yield this shit as a weapon. You know, to call it masculine has a connotation that some part of masculinity is bad. It's only bad when somebody who ain't supposed to wield it is bad. Right? So we kind of hit ourselves a little bit when we call it, you're a masculine woman. It's something a little different than that. They're belligerent. They're out of pocket. They're out of nature. Not just that they're out of masculine, they're just out of nature, the way they're behaving. And to call it masculine is somewhat still trying to blame it on men, because now we're putting a negative connotation on the masculine image. And I don't like that. They're just out of pocket. They're just behaving out of their own nature. And when you behave out of your own nature, it's only bad things that's going for both men and women. When men act too feminine, right, they're out of nature.
It's unattractive. It's unattractive and it's unnatural. Kind of like seeing, like when I think toxic masculinity exists within women, not men. I mean, for the most part, anyway. I mean, yeah, they're going to be abusive men, but we have systems in place to correct that behavior. We have therapy, counseling, all that kind of crap. We got pills to make you whatever, right? What do we have for the women? What do we have for the women that act out of order and behave or try to behave like men or try to confront men? Because when we talk about toxicity, we're talking about negative behavior traits, right? All of the women who quote unquote carry masculine energy, maybe don't have masculine features, but the energy that they carry, all of it's negative. None of it is, you know what? Back up off that tire. I'll change it. You know, that'd be something that would, yeah, you're masculine about it, but you know how to change a tire, and that's how you're using it, you know, in that direction for something, pro something, right? It's never, you know what? You see your arms all broken. Let me carry the grocery bags. It's never the masculine that we offer and bring to the table. I help you. I do this for you. I can do this for you because I use my strength and my intelligence for you, right? It's never that on the other side with women. It's always, I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to tell you no, and I'm going to put my hands on you if you say something or do something I don't like, and that is toxic, all of it.
All right.
But I mean, I don't think it's toxic. Well, I don't think it's toxic masculinity because women can't fight. So.
Does that wait? Does that stop them from trying and getting in your face and being disrespectful, like all day, every day? Does that? Well, just because they don't know how to fight UFC, none of these women are Ronda Rousey, right? None of them got any special training. But what they do have is a knowledge of a system that works to their benefit, which means they can say anything, do anything, act any kind of way, and they're a phone call away from having you removed. That is what that's all about.
You know what? You know what, Black Dragon? It's funny. I dated an MMA fighter when I was stationed in Alaska. She was in the Alaskan Fighting Championships up there, and she wouldn't fight me. She'd say it all the time. She's like, "Yeah, I know how to fight, but you're a man." She used to say that all the time. Yeah, I know how to fight, but you're still a man. You'll crush me. So I always find that funny that women who actually been trained to fight won't fight men. They'll spar with them, but they will never actually fight them. They know how this goes. The women who haven't been trained to fight will try to fight men. It's a very interesting little dynamic there.
It's only because two things. Number one, they must have detected that you're not going to kill them, right? They're gone, but they're not. They're stupid, but they're not insane to think that, you know, if I step out of pocket with this dude, he's gonna one hit and I'm dead. It's the dude that they say, oh well, you know what? I can put my hands in his face. I can do this. I can do that. It's the childlike mentality of what can I get away with this man, right? And they shit test you and they put things before you to see how you react. And then once they have that little meter of what what your limits are, like then they'll cross that line, get out of control. And then once you slip up once, and that's the end of your life. I don't mean your life or death. I mean, you know, your job, your this, your that. So if they know that you have all this to lose, yeah, they can act wild and out of pocket because they benefit on the other side. That they have an entire system that says that they're never wrong.
All right. So let's read these super chats real quick. My man AP, thank you. Green Gang in the building. Mr. Rich, appreciate that. $5. Keyword supposed. Western women reject this. Thus, the hair underarm and Jungle Bush movement era. Not Jungle Bush. Damn. All right. So I got a video. Thank y'all for those super chats. Keep those coming in. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. These likes are deplorable. Get those up. 25 likes right now. 25. Go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Thanks to everybody coming on up. We are going to get another thing popping. Y'all are going to really love this video. I was talking about it in the Lapeef group on Facebook last night. We were going in on this video. It was hilarious. So ladies in the chat, pay close attention because y'all about to go off. This is for you. Y'all are going to love this video, all right? So stay tuned for
Trigger,
that.
why you add me to the group, Trigger?
In the back chat, put your I think I can send you a invite on Facebook.
All right. Thank you.
No doubt.
And husband does that would send American men into a coma. He cooks for me like this almost every night. He does all of the outdoor chores and most of the indoor chores. And he seems to like it. So yesterday I asked him to clean my skylights and look at this happy man. He's just happy to be a family guy, even when it includes balloons in his face, or blow drying his niece's hair, or making me crab meat stick popsicles. He's always the life of the party, and he will always open the first bottle of champagne, even at a baby shower. My husband is the literal definition of if he wanted to, he would. When it's raining, he always gets me an umbrella. And you should totally think about this before settling for some dusty ass sun. Because men can in fact do these things. And they can do them consistently because he's been doing this for years. He also puts up all of my art so that we can enjoy it, even if it's maybe not his taste. He's an excellent dog dad and he is their chosen one. I'm a little salty about it. So before you settle, think about this, because if he wanted to, he would.
Okay. Ladies, how y'all feel about that? Y'all like it? They got mad at me yesterday in the group when I said all of y'all women should go get a Korean man. There's a 99.9% chance he won't behave like that guy. But hey, there's a chance, right?
It might be okay if she was said every so often for all of this. I give him a nice little, guac 3,000.
Yep.
It'd be nice if she would have just topped that off with that or something.
Hang on a second. What is he actually doing that's so wild and weird? Like cleaning the windows, taking the dog for a walk? Like, is that abnormal? I didn't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, other than him cooking these lavish meals, that part okay. But him doing the outside chores. I mean, wouldn't a man do that anyway? Like, it didn't make sense to me.
So
it seemed
that
it seemed like a pointless flex.
It was a pointless flex because this is actually pretty funny to me. This is pretty funny. She is a white woman, I think. She is a white woman.
Probably mixed.
And I went back and watched the video like 2 times and counted on my fingers. I was like, I do all that shit. I don't cook as much as my wife does, nowhere near it. I grill everything, right? So it's summertime now, so I'm about to be grilling a whole lot. But I was like, what the hell? And I'm not that great of a dog dad. My dog get on my goddamn nerves, as a matter of fact. But other than that, I'm like, what is abnormal that this dude is doing? What woman you ever seen on a roof washing skylight? Like, this is normal. In fact, fuck that. I'm paying a Mexican to do it.
I don't think that was the point. The point was to say that, like, never settle because you can find a man who can do as much as my man does, which is pretty much everything.
So this is what I wanted to ask y'all. What do you think? Do you think that lady is someone who does an equal amount of whatever else she's doing, or she's a lazy bum of a woman?
That's the point.
Loading,
which is why she's trying to flex. But I'm thinking in my last relationship, I cut the grass, I power washed the side of the house. I trained the dog because I'm a former canine handler in the military. Like, what did he do that was so, like, I'm just looking at it like, okay, you did the normal manly stuff that most men do in their family household anyway. Like, like I said, other than him cooking that lavish meal, but even I cook it. I'm like you, Trigger Mike. It's the summertime. I'm getting ready to do a whole lot of grilling. It's that time. I did a lot of grilling this past weekend, right? So I mean, yeah, it was a weird. I agree. I think it is a situation where she doesn't do anything, and so she thinks this is a flex. But most women will tell you, no, my husband does exactly the same things. It's not that big a deal.
You know what it is? You know what it is by that guy? He just happy to be in America.
He's happy to have a white woman.
He's happy to be in
Yeah.
America. His citizenship is solidified. Because he don't look like he been here that long. I'm sorry. I know that's racist. I'm sorry.
Well, you never heard him. He never said anything, did he? You don't hear him speak. It's just the woman.
No, I don't know.
Let's hear what he got to say. Let's see his TikTok and then find out what the real is.
What man hasn't hung up those pictures in your house for your wife?
That shit was like he hangs up all of my art. I don't let my if I heard a glass break, that means she doing something she ain't got no damn business. If you don't use the command strips, you put them all wrong. Who still uses nails? Now we got holes in the goddamn wall. Like, I don't let her do none of that. That is not a flex, but I do got a question for y'all behind this. We're gonna start with EBD because this is interesting, right? Women, I don't even understand. Let me make this statement before I ask the question. Ladies, do y'all not realize that every version of a man that you claim you want exists today? We got more stay-at-home dads than we've ever had. We got men that share chores than we've ever had. We have men that cook meals for the family than we've ever had. And y'all still divorce these niggas. So I have a question to say, if men did all of the chores, would women even respect them? EBD, we're going to start with you.
My answer is that it changes because I think that a man who decides to do all the chores in the household may win the woman's respect in the short term, but not the long term. I think that changes over time. I think that when she looks at social media, when she looks at other people's marriages or other people's relationships and find out that more men with masculine energy don't do these things, and that these women that her friends are more happier, more satisfied, and getting anything they really want, her feelings about him doing the most and her doing the least will change. Either her feelings will change for him, or since he is doing the most, he'll be exhausted. That battery is going to wear out. He'll understand that there are other women that are far more submissive, far more appreciative, and he's not required to do the most in order to get that equal value, well, somewhat equal value exchange. Because I don't see an equal value exchange here. I see a man doing the most and a woman doing the least. He's doing all this work. She's on TikTok talking about it. So there's no equal exchange there, right? There is no, I'm doing this and this and this for him, therefore he's doing, there is none of that. It's just, he's doing all this stuff for me and with a smile on his face. So women out there find a man like this and don't settle for anything else, which is bad advice. I mean, because she'll make another TikTok when that dude leaves her, or, you know, all these older women on TikTok now crying that they can't find a man or to date them. That's because you have no skills, nothing to bring to the table. You know, we need something more than a TikTok video for you to actually be in our world, in our house, in our lives from the day to day. You have to bring more than that. And I think modern women like to think that they are, quote unquote, the table, but they bring nothing to the relationship. They bring no added value. They're more of a debt than they're more of a deficit than actual, a bonus. And, you know, a lot of men are waking up to this now. So yeah, you can do all the chores. If I'm single in my apartment, I'm doing all the chores, right? There's no conflict or whatever. It's not for anybody. It's just in the context of relationship that things change. So this is the context of what we're operating in a relationship. So yeah, I don't think a man doing all the chores is going to win the respect in the long term. Only short term to win her affection, but in the long term, for a sustainable marriage, I don't think it's going to last very long.
All right, Trey, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, I mean,
hold it down real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, obviously she doesn't. Obviously, a man doing all the chores, a woman wouldn't respect him. I think she showcased her lack of respect by making a TikTok video. Um, and it was interesting. She showcased him doing things that most men that I know, all of the married men in my circle, that's what they do anyway. I mean, she's really flexing the equivalent of having power windows and power locks on a car. It comes standard on every car now. Like he didn't do anything special. And I think that she thinks that she's in a position of power because hey, look, this man is doing all of the work around the house and I'm chilling. So of course not. There's no way she could ever respect that man. And I wish somebody would whisper in his ear, bro. She's making you look foolish, even though you're doing what a man is supposed to be doing. It's the way she's going about it. She's making you look foolish, even though, in my opinion, I would be doing the same thing in my house anyway. But no, if a man did all the chores, a woman, she's not going to respect that.
Ashton?
I mean, it's good for a couple of TikTok videos, but I mean, after a while, it's gonna die down. And like Trey said, I mean, you want to put something in his ear. Us as men, we know how other men act. Like black men, we say feminine and friendly, but no, what is it? Fit, feminine, friendly.
Yeah.
But you gain some weight with an Asian man or a white man. Her ass out the door. So I give it a little time. He'll come to his senses.
Mr. Payne, sir.
No, I mean, we said it. If the other half of the story is now, what kind of reciprocation is she doing for that? Based on the question at hand, it seems like she, let's just assume she's not doing anything, but just taking the man for granted and advantage of him. If he continues down that path, then she's not gonna respect him. So I mean, just cleaning and all that kind of stuff, or cooking and all that, I don't have any issue if it's appreciated. If it's appreciated and you get something out of it from her that's reciprocating your efforts, then that changes the story. But for the most part, if she's just chilling, making TikToks and telling, hey, look at my man, he's a sucker, she's not going to respect him. She's not. And somebody else is busting it down, and she's with you just so she don't have to do these shit. Because that guy, she know he ain't going to do shit for her but bust it down. But she wants to have you here as the clowns paying the bills and doing all the work. And unfortunately, there's too many women out there like that.
All right. Let me get a thumbs up, Cali Bev.
Hey, R-Pain, I seen you in the YouTube streets.
Yeah, man. I'm a groupie. I'm a groupie, man. I'm everywhere, man.
Yeah, he's trying to get us back to the 1800s.
I said you make headline on one show. Put me on, R-Pain.
I hear you. Yeah, maybe one day I'll start doing live streams so I can grow up like Trigger Mike.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Who hasn't gone on this?
I think Humble.
Yeah, Humble has to go.
Yeah, for me, what I'm going to say about this is every man going to go through this phase. You're going to go through it. I went through it. Every man going to go through that phase. But you're going to get checked one day. You're going to get checked. Somebody going to check you. See that your friend going to check you, or your brother going to check you, or reality going to check you. And you're going to come back to your senses. Like, yo, what am I doing? You're going to ask yourself, yo, am I doing something right or wrong? But for me, every man going to go through the same phase. What you got on the video is going to, everybody going to go through it. That's my own 2 cents on this. But on the modern women, talking about not cleaning and not washing or doing anything for the man or the husband, I tell you, if you don't do that, you don't have no relationship. Just stay single. If you can't do the little thing, clean it, nah. Leave it alone, buy a dog and die alone. That's my own 2 cents on that.
All right. Excuse me. What's going on, Cali Bev? Let's get you in there. What you got on the topic?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
So what's up?
Hello.
They
Yeah,
feel like
everybody
you
don't
gotta say some
everybody don't say
bullshit.
hi back at once. Shit.
Nah,
God
they
damn.
feel like
Oh,
you
my
gotta say
bad.
some bullshit.
Hello. Yeah.
Most of us were on mute. That's all.
They afraid to say. They're like, man, she about to be on some bullshit. I ain't
Yes,
even
right.
gonna say that.
What's she gonna do now?
We're
Oh
only waiting for the terrorism.
my God.
Well, I give warnings before I introduce terrorism. You know that, EBD.
Oh my God.
But look, I just had a question. How is it that where is this assumption coming from that she doesn't do anything for him?
She made a TikTok.
I mean, we know white women.
Okay. I mean,
We know white women.
I
No,
just
we
don't
asked.
get it because the video was literally her bragging about what her husband does in the house, right? And it was like
Yeah.
20 seconds. So it's like if it's specifically about what he does, why would you guys assume that she's not doing anything? Because the premise of the video isn't even about that. So I don't understand why would
No,
she
we're
introduce that
asking.
into it.
So we're asking. So I asked the question. I put it out there. I said, if you had to guess, do you think that she is a person that does equal to him, and she's just saying? Because listen, I think Trey put it in perfect perspective. None of this is uncommon. First off, it doesn't even matter who does it. A woman ain't doing most of that stuff anyway. So it doesn't matter if you hire somebody to watch the skylights. It doesn't matter. A woman ain't doing none of that. So we're saying, just from modern times and the way women tend to be, do y'all think she's doing this and bragging about it because she's somebody who serves in the home equally in the ways that she serves, or is she just a lazy bum trying to tell other women that? So you understand that today's woman, they're trying to be women of leisure. That's the thing that's out now. Lady of leisure. They're not trying to be lady of service. So my guess, if I had to guess, she's a lazy bum. I'm putting my money.
But Trigger, this my thing though. Like, some women can be a lady of leisure. The problem come in when every woman want to be like. Every woman ain't got that good nah like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I definitely
and that's the mix up. Like, they try to put it. No, it's only a good 5 of y'all that can pull that off. Like, let's just be
Are you
honest about
saying
it.
that there's?
I mean, it's not even about.
There's bad box out here? Is that what you're trying to say?
Is
It's
it
hella,
really
it's hella,
about?
it's hella
No,
bad.
real talk,
That is
real talk.
impossible, sir.
Is it really
Oh, oh,
about the box, or is it really about the man being able to
oh,
afford that kind of lifestyle?
okay, Bill. Let me break it down. Okay, you remember Sierra and Russell, right?
Hmm.
Women out here really think it's a Sierra prayer out here, and he
Is it
just like an
Sierra
Asian
what?
man. They
Sierra
really think it's
prayer.
a Sierra prayer. He just got his
Hmm.
celebrity. He just got his celebrity crush. That's all that is. Ain't no man in their right mind will let a woman like that embarrass him like that. In
Um.
our space, Payne, you will let your
That's.
woman twerk half
No,
naked
no,
with you on camera?
no.
I mean, but none of y'all are marrying dancers and celebrities either. So I'm saying, like,
Exactly. Russell is the man that can that can afford to marry his celebrity crush, and
I
he
don't.
knows what come with it.
Tell
Hang on.
her that she has
Just
a
Hang on,
point
hang on,
though.
hang on, hang on,
She
hang on,
she has a
hang on,
point.
hang on. It has nothing to do with her being a celebrity. I wouldn't even let my girl dance and post that on Instagram. It has nothing to do with her being a celebrity.
Well,
Trey,
wait a minute, Trey. Let me just ask you.
if you marry Sierra, you know damn well. Even though they say we don't understand or we don't get it as men, you know damn well she was a singer and dancer before you married her.
Right,
So you can't
right.
stop that.
No.
We know
Yeah,
that
right,
for a
right.
fact.
Well, Austin, that's not true.
But I'm
No,
making.
let me just say
Hang
this,
on,
Trey.
hang
That's
on,
not really true.
hang on,
Because if she
hang on,
married me,
hang on.
she married me. There's still going to be rules. I'm still an
Pain,
alpha. I'm
Pain,
still an
you can't
alpha.
stop that.
So I would.
Pain,
Yes, you can.
you
right.
Yes, you
can't
can.
stop that woman from dancing. You can't.
Right.
No,
One mic.
not from dancing. We're talking about going outside naked.
You
Okay,
can't stop her.
let me change this so Pain can understand. Pain, you is not finna stop. You is not finna stop Diana Ross from coming out the house naked.
Yeah, she
Come
never
on
came
now.
out the house naked though.
Shit.
No, you know, I hear what you're trying to say. I don't disagree.
You hear me?
But part of the marriage contract, she would have to agree with what I'm saying. If she doesn't, we just wouldn't get married.
Don't nobody take marriage
Pain,
contract seriously no
you
more.
think Diana Ross is gonna listen to you?
She's going to
You think Diana Ross gonna listen to you at the end of the night?
She's going to break that contract because somebody paid her an exorbitant amount of money to wear that dress,
yes,
and she's going to take the money and she's going to risk it, and she's going to say he's not going to leave me. Here's the thing.
She's gonna say, "Go to hell, R-Pain."
Here's the thing. In 2023, you are reactive. The woman's gonna do what she wants to do. You're reactive. It's all about what you do after she does what she wants to do. This idea that you can be proactive and you can't stop no woman from twerking when she want to go to the club. How you gonna stop her? The only way these things don't happen is if she herself is not that type of woman and she doesn't want to be that type of woman. But if she has that in her heart to be that woman, that's what she's gonna be.
And I wouldn't be married to her.
The only way she stops, which is I think where you're going, you say that she can't stop. No one can stop her but herself, right? And she has to come to that decision for the right man that she loves and respects and admires and wants to change for. I'm like for instance, I'm in the
that don't have nothing to do with a man.
Right. Well, right, but like you said, like dating, marriage, courting, this and that, it's a process, right? If she is too much for the streets, there's no one that's going to want to pick her up except for the simp that accepts her as she is. She doesn't have to change. She will only change for the man that she respects and admires and wants to be with. She wants to leave this life for this life.
I hear you, but that's a common trope, but I don't agree with that either. There will be no man that she would actually do that for. That's what I'm saying.
You run into problems when you start trying to change people. Why would you want to change somebody into something that they're not?
Exactly.
Why? Well, why ask men? Ask women. Women think they can change men all the time.
I mean, yeah, it's stupid too, but I'm talking to y'all.
We don't try. Hang on. We don't try. We don't try and change women. We don't try. I don't try and change a woman. I don't try and change a woman. Hang on. Let me say this. I don't try and change a woman. It's my job to vet that the woman that I'm dealing with is the woman that I want to deal with.
That has nothing to do with what she said. There are clowns out here that are trying to change women. Just because you don't do it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. There are clowns out here every day that think that they can take a woman out of a strip club and put her in the house. They can't do it.
And get a different result? Then those men are fools. Those are fools.
You literally just said she's not going to change except for the so and so. I mean, you literally just said something about changing somebody.
No. I said no one can change a woman's behavior but herself. She will want to change for a man that she respects, loves, and admires and wants to be with. She's trading because we're talking about single versus being in a relationship. You behave two different ways, right? When you're single, yeah, you can twerk and do the most, right? When you're in a relationship, it's different because it ain't all about you. And you may not want to do the same ratchet stuff that you were doing when the relationship, when there's a guy that you like and want to be with. That's the difference.
Hey, EBD, can I say something to you?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
Let me just get this out, Kelly.
I think it's weird.
Even if it's a guy she admires, you're saying she's going to turn into a chameleon. Because if she really has this thing where she got to be an exhibitionist as part of her job or this and that, she might want that highfalutin guy, but he probably won't pick her because he knows the nature of the woman, right? If he vetted her properly, I wouldn't want her to just put all that shit aside just so she could be married to me because it won't last. It won't last. It got to be the essence of who she is. If I like to be an exhibition, I could wear a naked dress out there just because she married to me, even if I was above her, means I'm taking something away from her essence. And if she wants to be from the streets, it'll just be a matter of time where she wants to, the streets will be calling the call of the wild. This shit will be calling her back like a big fucking echo in her head. Excuse my language. Every night. So I wouldn't marry her.
Yeah, it should never get there. It should never get there.
Y'all ever see the video of the general? He's up on the stage, he's dancing. His girl is next to him, and when she turns around and starts twerking, and they're in full dress uniform. She turns around and starts twerking, and he has to grab her up.
Yes.
Are you saying he didn't vet his wife? He don't know his wife? No, sometimes it's just in them. Sometimes some of these women, they just lose their mind for a second. Like, oh, I'm just going to be a part of the trend. You have to remember that a lot of women are not independent thinkers. They are sheep. They got to follow the trend. That's why social media is so popular, because every 4 months there's a new trend and women are just hopping on the trend, right? So sometimes it's just in them. It's just in them. And every now and then it's about reaction. You have to be able to deal with her after she does these things. And if you can be proactive, fine, and be proactive. But some of these women, it's just who they are. You have to be able to deal with it, what to accept, what you're not going to accept. But this idea that you could just stop women, she's not going to do that. That's craziness to talk like that in 2023 with all of these laws and rules. That's insane.
So men don't follow trends?
Not to the degree that women do.
Not everything that come on the radio.
I want to know how many of y'all was wearing tall tees in the early 2000s.
No. So
me, I was rocking them bitches.
Men follow trends, but we're also the trendsetters.
But I ain't wearing no tight pants.
We create the trends. Women follow the trends. That's how it works.
I've always worn a belt. I don't sag my pants, and that's a trend. I don't do it.
I sagged back in the 80s and 90s when it was the thing, and I wore my pants backwards in my shirt.
Now that I'm older,
crisscross, I did that.
Let me just say this. Now that I'm older, sagging your pants made absolutely no goddamn sense. When I say I love a good belt,
that era.
I don't even get it now. That's why it annoys me when people do it. Can barely walk. They doing that dumbass side to side walk.
That duck walk
like this. I want to smack every young boy doing it. And the one thing I love is that, this is about the most African thing I'm going to say today. My dad used to yell at other people's kids he didn't know. And if he saw somebody sagging to the point where it was like down to your knees, this dude would roll down his window and be like, pull your pants off. Like it was the kid would just be scared. Like, oh shit. I found myself doing the exact same thing. I don't actually see it as much as I used. Now they're really into.
That was a niche trend. There's a lot of kids.
Yeah, now they're really into wearing short stuff, which is kind of weird. Now everything's tight.
Everybody wearing them tight pants with the leg guys and stuff and all that kind of crap.
You telling me men do more? You telling me men do more trends than women? That's what you saying, Bill?
Yes, women follow.
No, trends. I didn't say more or less. I just questioned because I'm like, okay, so women are so impressionable and we just follow trends, and I'm like, so are you trying to say that men don't follow trends?
Not like women,
but you only brought up tall tees.
Not like
women sing every song on the radio.
So, hold on. There is one statistic that like literally is so lopsided that will tell you that women follow trends. So I'm telling you this as somebody again who I sell firearms mostly to men. That's a men's industry mostly, even though women have come into it in recent years. It is extremely hard to sell to men, which is why most people who want to sell at scale sell to women. Women make up 85% of the consumer base. So even things that are influenced that men would actually buy, somehow women influence that too, or will buy it for their man. So that's how impressionable women are, that the entire economy just turned it over to say, market to women and you will make tenfold money versus market to women. Men will ask questions. They will challenge. They'll ask what fabric is it made out of? Is it cold hammer forged steel or is it aluminum? We do all that shit to make the salesman exhausted. So they were like, I don't even want this damn sale no more. But a woman, I worked in women's shoes in college at Nordstrom. Just got to have a little bit of swag and charm. I worked part-time and consistently was the number one salesman in the whole damn store in Norfolk, Virginia. Okay. It's the easiest thing to sell to women. Stuff they don't even want, they don't need. That's how impressionable women are. Make them feel beautiful and you can have whatever you want.
I mean, yeah, this goes back to the Tupperware parties that my mom used to make me come to.
So not even a Tupperware party. My mom bought, so who else's mom bought all these mail order appliances, things from the infomercial and used the shit like once and never again? Our garage is still cluttered with a bread maker that is the size of almost a damn washing machine. She used that shit one time.
What's that? The Home Shopping Network.
Nah, I'm
Yep.
sorry, Trigger. We was poor.
We were poor too. That's why they
we didn't have
impressionable.
money. We didn't have money to buy things. Like
No,
that.
you know how
But
you know
yeah,
how they made it so poor people could afford it. Y'all know how?
Door to
8
door.
payments. 8 payments of
Payments.
1999. 1999. So the Kirby was Mark. I used to do Kirby sales like way back in the day when I was jobless and broke. I did the door to door for like one day and then I got out. But what I learned is you're not trying to sell the husband, you're trying to sell the wife who's mostly at home, who's responsible for the cleaning, who's responsible for the. So when it doesn't matter if the man is home by himself, it's like, nah, you got to knock onto the next door. Because if the woman of the house ain't home, you can't sell a Kirby vacuum cleaner to a man. You cannot. He will buy a different vacuum cleaner and doesn't see the value in what you're bringing. A woman, you can kind of ooh and ah and look what it can do and honey, let's get it. That's how that whole thing works. But I went to a black dude or a white neighborhood. I don't care how you look. That ain't for me, bro.
look at this one. It has a double door.
Yep. Who hasn't answered the question yet? Furious Styles, did we get you in there? If men did all the chores, would women respect them? You got the floor.
I mean, if you stay around long enough to find out whether you be respected or not. I mean, personally, if I got to do what I'm supposed to do and what you supposed to do, probably ain't gonna stay around very long. But I mean, in the cases where somebody may stay around long enough to figure out whether they're gonna be respected or not, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say she's gonna push the envelope to the point that she put your foot down. You know, and establish some type of boundary, some type of organization, order, you know, whatever. I mean, and she'll push the envelope to that point.
The realities of modern life make it tougher than ever.
Yeah, I'm more of the belief. I'm more of the belief that everybody pick up something. If it needs to be done, whoever's free, just do it. Like, you know, you can have your primary positions or whatever, you know. But, you know, if something needs to get done, just do it. I mean, I grew up, my daddy did chores, my granddad did chores, you know what I'm saying? My grandma, she would mow the lawn sometimes, you know what I mean? You know, her husband, from what my mom tells me, because he died when I was very young. But my maternal grandfather, he did his thing too in the house. So, I mean, it's just weird to me how we want to have these set defined roles, and you're not. I'm gonna just walk past the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't clean because she's supposed to do it. You know what I mean? It's weird.
I think a lot of that is just part of this echo chamber. That's what I really believe. I think in real life, it's just I think people share chores all the time.
No, I think
if she walking past that grass not being cut every day, why she not cutting it?
Exactly.
She walking past the side of the house and need to be power washed.
Wait. Let me give y'all the big one. Let me give y'all the big one. If she letting all them goddamn lights blink in her car, why she not taking care of? Why she got the air light on and all her goddamn tires? Hold on. I got an echo.
I mean, women known for doing that though.
Man, but no, I think I agree with Mr. Payne. I think men actually share chores a lot more than is realized. What I also think is that no matter what a man does, it'll never be enough for a lazy ass woman because she just resents doing chores to begin with. Because I found it funny how women just tend to discredit things that men actually do. Because I told y'all, I pay attention. I look up in the world and see how it's changed. Do y'all not even realize that because women work, that makes men the automatic, in America, that makes men the automatic secondary caregiver. When a woman at work, let's say it's a nurse that work nights, 7 to 7 p.m., the man is at home with the kids. You see what I'm saying? He's the one cooking them, giving them dinner. My wife leave out of the crib 6 a.m. Don't fucking wake me up. I'm 6:30. Don't even tap on me. I'll go off on you. I'll get the kids ready by myself. I'm that dude. I don't know about y'all. If I throw a fit every time. What time is it? Like, I'll feel that it's not 6:30. The fuck you? God damn it! Don't wake me up. I will get the kids ready. I'll brush their teeth, iron their clothes, put all their stuff on. Every time I go to my children's school, half dads dropping their kids off, and you know they got them ready. Their lunch and everything, right? So we're not going to complain about it. That's why people think we don't do it. It's what needed to be done.
You ain't do it with a smile on your face, Trigger. That's why she ain't
No,
post you on
so-
TikTok.
Hey, Collie Bear,
Here's the thing,
you don't leave
Ashton,
your
it
husband a
doesn't
honey-do
matter.
list?
I'm not going to complain either way.
What'd you say, Trey?
You don't leave your husband a honey-do list? Like when we had our daughter, and I was on paternity leave, right? Every morning I would wake up and there'd be a note on the refrigerator telling me the things that needed to be done around the house. Like, you don't leave a list? No, he just knows what needs to be done.
I mean, yeah, he's looking at it. I mean, you know what I mean?
I know some married couples where the wife will leave like a list. She'll say, hey, knock these things out because this stuff needs to be cleaned. Or I didn't get a chance to get to this. I do know some wives that do that. That's why I asked.
Oh no, we not that organized like that over here.
That's when it becomes problematic. That'll piss me off.
Yo,
my wife looked at what need to be done.
Fierce Style, something going on with your mic, bro. It's called.
He has YouTube on another tab open. You have to close out the YouTube tab and leave open the StreamYard tab. That's where the feedback's coming from. You're getting double sound.
Got you. All right. Black man, what's going on?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, we chilling, bro.
What's up, BMU?
Topic so far?
Yeah, I was listening in, man. Real quick, when it comes to the whole chore thing, I think that it'll become a full battle.
Breaking up,
if people really start looking at the reality of it. Like we don't walk past.
Hey, BMU,
I'm breaking up.
Is that him or me?
Yeah, you might want to go.
Yeah,
out.
he's breaking up a little bit. Yeah, we're trying to catch everything, but we get like one hit and then it comes out. There we go. Try that.
Oh,
he'll be back, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that was BMU.
No, but yeah, ain't no honey-do list because by the time I remember, I have to finish something. I might as well just go home and just do it.
That is extremely common. My wife does not leave. Well, sorry, she does leave a list. I don't know why she does it. She'll leave a Facebook message. She thinks she must think I use Facebook all the damn time or something. So she'll leave me a bunch of little Facebook messages that she'll just say light bulbs. Then I'll come in the house and be like, God damn, I don't know how all these light bulbs start flickering, but the house was new when we got it. So I guess everything, the children's bedroom flickering, one of them. So I just changed them all out. So I gotta do all that. So I just did that before we jumped on the show. House bright as hell now. But yeah, just little stuff like that. I think men do all the time. I just don't think. I think women resent their duties that they have to do. For some reason, they think it's beneath them now that they work, which is weird because men don't think like that. Even though I get Jorge to cut my grass, I will gladly go out there if he say he not coming. The HOA, I'm not getting no damn fine from the HOA. First off, I have only because it's $30. I'm like 30 for the front.
They taking houses out here, Trigger.
Yo, I saw that.
Houses, bro.
I saw that.
I'm mad your fine is only $30 though.
Yeah, Kylie. I'm a little upset that your fine is only $30 too.
Right.
No. I said my grass getting cut is only $30.
Oh, I thought you said the fine was only $30.
Nah, he comes every 2 weeks for $30. I was like, shit, front and back, I'll swing that. But no, anything. This is actually the thing. I think men will always kind of do what is necessary without complaint because it's like a shoulder shrug. Who else gonna do it? So I think women are having a hard time processing their role. And really, this is something that I believe 100% all the way down to my heart. This has nothing to do with men because women are having a hard time at work. Y'all thought work was great. Y'all thought, this is why I don't understand why women Jump into the workforce, then complain about it after the fact. You got everything you said you wanted. You thought we was at work having a good old time. I know barely any men that like what the hell they do for a living. They're doing it so they can finance what they do, like doing for a living, or what brings them enjoyment. I work this fucking tedious ass job so I could take care of my kids, so I could lay up in my house, so I could buy all my goddamn guns, and bullets and shit. That's all the shit that makes me happy. But women go to work thinking it's supposed to be some kind of great experience. It's extremely taxing to them, and they do it to a level where they no longer have the energy to do what's necessary at home. I think that's backwards.
It's an ego feeder. That's really all it is. An ego feeder.
Yeah.
When women go out and go to work because they say that they could do things a man does. That's where this I don't need a man stuff comes from, because of the egos.
All right.
I'd rather go to work, personally.
Trigger.
Can
I say something?
Yeah, I did the stay-at-home thing. I didn't like it.
Can I say something? If I can provide, fix the light, do the plumbing, fix the car, do all the stuff, and I expect you to cook and clean. For me, the way I see it is your job. That's your duty. As a wife, that's your duty as a wife. You have to do that stuff, and I don't expect you to go out. If you go out there and say you want to go bring in the bag, you're not going to get no glory or no satisfaction. I'm not going to give you any credit, because me going out there, getting the bag and bringing the money in, I don't need no credit from anybody, because it's my job. That is my duty to do it. I have to go out there and feed the family, because if I don't do it, they're going to call me a sucker. So your job is to take care of me. If I go out there and bring the bag and give it to you, your job is to take care. That's how I see it. I don't know about other people. For me, your job is to even clean the house, have food ready for me when I come back home, because I'm out there busting my ass, bringing the bag so that you can be fine. You'll be okay. You don't stress. You don't do it. For me, I don't see all this. For me, I see it as your job. It's your duty to do it. It is your job to do it. Clean. My job is to go out there and walk. My job is to go out there and walk and bring in the money. Your job is to do all the house chores. You don't tell me if I go out there and come back and the toilet is dirty, you're going to tell me to go clean the toilet. What? I see that's your job. Where I come from, that's how we see it. If a woman can't do this stuff, then of what use are you to me? Of what use are you? If you can't do this stuff, because me being a single man, I'm trying to do this stuff. I'm trying to take some stuff off my plate so that I can focus on my own purpose. Now I need your help. These are the things I needed to do. Sometimes, even when I got married, I told my wife all this. I'm not telling you to go out there to go get a job and say you want to grab with me. I got this. I got this. This is what I need from you. I need you to take care of these things for me. When I come back home, so I can feed, I can at least, I don't have to be going to the kitchen, cook and do dishes and all the stuff after working. No, I need you to help me with this. All these stuff are little things. They're not too hard. They're little things. I know how to cook, but I don't want to do it. When I come back from work, I don't want to do it. I need you to help me do this stuff. These little things are the things that even when you do it, I bless you with gifts. I bless you with things. I bless you with material things to show, at least to reward you with the things that you've done for me in my own life. People need to know about this stuff. For me, I see it as your this is your job description as a wife. It is your job. That is your. If you're gonna let's put this as a job application. If you're gonna apply as a wife, those are the things you need to do to be a wife. If you're gonna apply for a position in the company, will you be the one to tell the boss how to move around in his own company. You can't
Have you
tell the
not worked?
ones
Have
who
you not
employed
worked
you.
with black women, sir?
Yeah.
They will tell the boss exactly what they're going to do and not going to do.
No, well,
I
that
do.
is
he
that is
ain't
You
he
you.
ain't
wrong,
For
wrong.
but
me,
He's
you
not
know you
wrong.
ain't right.
The
no, for
only
me, not.
okay, yo, I gotta tell a story real quick. I left the corporate world to work on my business, and one of the reasons I was so comfortable doing so is because I work with all women, and that's an exhausting experience at the executive level, at the director level. I mean, that's an exhausting experience because they do things that I just would not do, and they want to talk about problems, literally talk about them with no solution for any extended period of time, which to a man is just like nails on a chalkboard, right? So I forgot about that part when I took this new position. And one of the funniest things that happened, and this speaks to what Trey just said, was that I get a meeting called Director Touchpoint. All the directors in the company got to come touch base with one of the VPs and just talk about what's going on. It's my very first one. Do you know out of all these white, Mexican, African people, out of all these people, it was the black woman that said they were playing, those icebreaker games where they just want to lighten the mood of the meeting, where you do something and you do a little activity. This lady said in her mic, do we have to do this because I got work to do? Oh, one of those moments where you don't want to be black, you don't want to be another black person. I was like, oh God, please stop, don't embarrass me like that. Like you can see everybody's face, like, lady, what the what? Are we disturbing you? Like, like, lady, what? I mean, when I say that is the only person I've ever seen to tell a superior what they gonna do or not gonna do. Like they don't get paid by that company. Like they own the damn company. It is hilarious. At any level. That's what I'm saying. This is the directorial level. She's like, oh, this is childish. Can we? I got work to do. Do we have to do? I was like, what? I can't believe it. But anyway,
And then
welcome to
they be
everybody.
looking like you said it.
Let me read these super chats. Spaces, $5. Soon enough, she's gonna be posting a video crying about how he left her because she took him for granted, or her saying something was missing. You know it. That's how I usually go down. Embrace the grace, $5. How you doing? Women nowadays would rather ask for forgiveness versus ask for permission.
That's true.
I agree. Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show, everybody. We got an all-star panel. I got another question. We're going to start with Dr. Steele. All right, on this one. Because I'm trying to make a connection here, Dr. Steele.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the women today are complaining about being homemakers. Not only do they not want to be, they resent the entire ideology of homemaking and being a homemaker first before they are a career woman. But I don't think women understand what they're saying. So I want you to elaborate on this question. If a woman is a bad homemaker, can she be a good mom?
Nope. Mm-mm. Let me tell you why. Okay. If a woman is a bad homemaker, right? She does not take her I wouldn't say position, but her duties as a wife seriously. She does not want to do all the she did not want to play the roles that she didn't want to play. She doesn't she doesn't do anything, she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean or what have you. So and then too, her child, sees her like this. Okay? A child's going to do everything that a grown up can do. So if you see a mom, you're not doing anything. How do you think the child's going to act? Now there are some moms who are not good homemakers and decide they want the child to do everything for her. There's some cases like that, and that's still not setting a good example, for your child. If you're going to act this way. So bad homemaker, not a good mom at all.
All right. Trey, let's get you in there. If a woman is a bad homemaker, can she be a good mom?
I'm gonna have to agree with Dr. Steele on this one. One of her responsibilities as a good mom is to be a good homemaker. So if she's a bad homemaker, I think then by default she's not the greatest mom. She also has to set the example. So I won't beat the horse. I agree with Dr. Steele and what he said. That's what I would have said.
All right, EBD.
I agree. I co-sign with both of them saying. I think if she's a bad homemaker, she's not going to be a good mother either. Only because when you are a homemaker, you value the family and you take pride in your home and in your children when you send them out into the world, and then you take pride when you invite people into your world. So it's kind of a display of who you are if you're a bad homemaker or if you're a good homemaker, right? Um, when you have people from the outside world looking in, you want them to you want to always put your best foot forward, especially as a homemaker or a housewife. You come into somebody's universe saying, "This is my home. Everything's cooked and clean, put in order. There are no issues or no problems that you can see or anybody else can see because I'm on mine every single day." But we usually don't have that anymore. Now they have a service where it's like 19.99 or whatever for other women to come in your house and clean everything.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. Payne, you there? Damn, I'm getting emails and shit. Let's go to Cali Bev. Ooh, first woman to answer the question. If a woman is a bad homemaker, can she be a good mom?
I don't know what a homemaker is like that. Like I have a general idea, like just
That's
a stay-at-home mother. You know what I'm saying?
no,
That's the picture that comes in my head when I think of a homemaker.
no. Let me
So
get the definition. That's a good point. Let me get the definition real quick. Homemaker, a person who spends their time looking after a home and doing housework rather. Oh, damn. I shouldn't have used the term homemaker. You're right. Rather than being employed outside the home. So you are right. 100% right. Let me change that. I think homemaker just somebody who can clean a home, but contextually, I think that's the way we've been using it for years. If a woman doesn't, let's just say, if a woman can't maintain a clean
A,
home,
a virtuous woman.
if a woman can't maintain a clean home, can she be a good mom?
I would say no, because I mean, just basic surface level stuff. That means your kids will be crawling around in filth.
Hmm.
I mean, just without having to look at it any deeper than that, then I would say no.
Indeed. Humble. I already know what you're gonna say.
No, she's not going to be a good, the answer is no. I support what Duck still said. I support 100% because if you're dirty, that means you're going to be going to the hospital in and out. You're going to be sick every day, every month. Like if the house is dirty, if you don't even know how to, that means if you don't know how to cook, you're going to be spending money on fast food, McDonald's, Wendy's, and all the stuff. Like you can't save, you can't do anything. You're going to be spending money every freaking day. And if you're dirty, well, hospital every day. Like you're gonna be going. If you have like two, three, four, five kids, they're gonna be going to the hospital every day, from one
Hmm.
sickness to the other, from one disease to the other, from any other thing. So, no, no.
Somebody agree with you in the background. Yeah, I heard that. Ashton, you're up.
I think yeah, she could still be a good woman. I stayed in white neighborhoods. I mean, where the father is usually the what is it what is it called when the man stay at home and take care of the kids?
Stay at home
One of
dad.
those.
A house
Yeah.
husband.
So I mean, I she still be a good wife for not being a homemaker. I mean, as long as she going to get the bacon, but I mean that don't work with everybody. But the relationships I seen, they was white, they did it. So
You're on mute. You're on mute, Mike.
Mike,
right,
you're on mute.
Dr. Steele already went. We're gonna get to Furious Styles. Furious Styles, do you know you look like Quentin? Do you know who Quentin is?
That's my brother.
Oh,
I was
sir.
waiting for y'all. I was waiting for somebody to figure that out.
Look, from this angle right here, I'll be like, God damn, you look like Quentin.
Yeah, that's my younger brother by 2 years.
Look, y'all know who Quentin is?
Yep.
From Fight Club, y'all know who?
Yeah. Yeah, they look alike
Nah,
right
I
up
ain't met
from
him
the
yet.
cheeks up to the eyebrows. They
Yeah.
look alike, like
They
all
wear
up
they-
in
so-
here.
So this is funny
That's-
because this
that's
is
my
what my
guy.
little brother does. So you know why Quentin wears his hat like that. You know why Quentin wears his beard like that, because that's because what his big brother do. That's exactly what people have
because I
called
normally wear
me.
my hat to the front, Mike. I just flipped it around just today. I normally wear my
And I
hats to the
bet you
front.
Quentin will flip his hat to the front.
Yeah.
You know, people will
Yeah.
call me from like that live in DC or they went to school with me and be like, "Yo, you got to have a brother." And I was like, you know, he looks like me, but this dude once called me and was like, "Dog, I'm watching a dude walk right now with your same dumbass walk." That's what he said. He was like, "This dude, he's like, I ain't never seen nobody with this dumbass walk. You got to be related." Sure enough, my brother called me 2 minutes later, like, some dude just walked up on me and asked me, "Did I know was I your brother?" So, damn,
That's
you take
funny.
a lot of stuff from your big brother. I'm just saying that's wild. But what you got on the topic? If a woman can't maintain a clean home, can she be a good mom?
Man, I gotta say no, man. Like, I mean, it's a fine line, man. Like part of being a good mother is showing not only your daughters but your sons how to maintain a clean and orderly household. And I mean, it's as much if both parents are working, I really feel like it's as much the father's job as it is the mother's. But I mean, since we're talking about the mothers, I mean you got to show them how to be decent, clean individuals. You know what I mean? And so yeah, for that reason, I would say no.
All right. Who's that in the all right, BMU. I know you about to kill this one.
No, I agree with Dr. Steele as well. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I agree with Dr. Steele and Trey and so on and so forth. Because basically, a good woman who can't clean her house is like a remote habit. It can make things work, but without the necessity of the marriage, it ain't going to work. I think that those two, you can't have one without the other. How is it that you can say I'm a good woman and people can see that? Hey, man, this is a good woman. And then she invites you over for a barbecue or a get together, and you got to step over a piece of pork chop that's 3 weeks old. You got to step over kids' Pampers that's been balled up in the trash can for a month. And there are women like that. And I have seen this behavior before. I've seen friends of my sisters who you go into the house, they look good on the outside, they're good women, carry themselves well, and you go in the house and it smells like skunk sex in the house. So yeah, when you can't have one without the other, brother. It's just I agree with Dr. Steele. Dr. Steele, you killed it. I completely 100% agree with Dr. Steele.
Did he say skunk sex?
Skunk sex.
Listen, skunks themselves. Our dog got skunked some years ago. Skunks themselves smell terrible. So skunks smashing, I don't even want to know. All right. So now we're going to get into a question. Anybody can jump in and answer. Since not only do women resent doing domestic chores, and we know that, and all of that, they just resent cooking, cleaning, doing things with children in general. But one of the things that I think that they also downplay is what a man actually represents and his value to the family in general. There are some dudes who believe in the full traditional norm to say, I'm not doing shit in the house. I know some of those dudes, I ain't gonna lie. Some of them are immigrants, and it's not even that they have to say anything. Their wife won't let them touch anything because that's the way they were raised. Then you got some dudes who be like, nope, I still ain't doing nothing. But I tell those women that ask me, what about those men, or are these men messing up the game? And I'll say, do you even understand the value that a man brings and what his actual service to the family is? So I'm going to ask, anybody can jump in here. What do men offer as their reasonable service to the family? Go ahead.
Well, I'll jump in real quick, man. Let's just put it this way. We have to really make a distinction. You're really talking about Western women, and to make it even narrower, you're talking about the American Western woman. And then I have to just be clear. I think that we get hypnotized by being on these panels and this echo chamber called YouTube, because if we just went by that, Western women don't expect to do anything but be coddled, right? So, and with that, they don't respect almost anything men can do, because they spent, 50 years saying they don't need a man, right? I mean, after a while, I think men are just starting to wake up and say, okay, you don't need us. All right, we'll find somebody else. And now we're not even asking them anymore. That's why there's so many lonely women out there. I mean, they put on these fronts, but the truth of the matter is, nature says that men and women are supposed to be together. And women's hypergamy wants them to have the right kind of man for them. But those guys ain't checking for these women speaking like that. If I'm a man who is on my grind, I'm 35 to 50 or whatever. If I'm looking for a wife, I'm looking for somebody. As soon as I hear a woman say she doesn't need me, she doesn't need anything but my money, I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for somebody younger. And that's why there's a new movement for women out there talking about, oh, you're a predator if you're looking for a woman who's 23 or 24. Well, the truth of the matter is, those guys are looking for women with a modicum of virtue left.
Yep.
And that's the one thing women don't have anymore. A lot of women don't have any virtue left. They stroked it out in their 20s. And that's a big key. If men have to be on their game and earn their way through life, women are supposed to be the guardians of their virtue. Men can't guard it for them. Their body, their womb, their choice. And they just giving it away. And then they expect some man to come save them when they're around 30-something years old. It's just not happening anymore. So women don't respect what men give. Men freely talk about what they want to give. First of all, men don't leave if they have a loyal woman who's exclusive to them, loyal, respectful, all that. We don't go nowhere. We stay with those women. Women don't appreciate that. And so a lot of women don't appreciate, not all, but the Western woman has through propaganda and whatever, has destroyed the marriage and the relationship entity in the West, especially for men who want to be serious with women. It's just very difficult. So that's why I'll leave it at that. They don't appreciate what men do. When's the last time any man around this panel, when's the last time a woman came up to you and said, I appreciate what you do for me? I appreciate all the shit you do for me. Sometimes I tease my wife. We've been married for 30 years. And I said, you said I do 30-something years ago. And I can't remember the last time you said that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's the way it is. Let me land it there.
Well, Dr. Payne, can you hear me? Dr. Payne, calling Dr. Payne. The reason that you don't hear that anymore, Payne, is because it's the line that all women use now. It's what you're supposed to do. Why am I commending you on something that you're supposed to do? What you want, a cookie? What you want? You doing what you're supposed to do, Dr. Payne. So I don't have to tell you I do, I will, I'll give, I appreciate, because I ain't got to appreciate nothing you're supposed to do. You're a man. You're doing what you're supposed to do, right? So that's the word that's in the street right now. So what men, to answer the question, what men have to offer is have to offer all the things that you are unable to do with the money that you make. Everything that you do with the money you make. If a woman's making $100,000 a year, I guarantee you half the stuff that you're trying to do, trying to fix, you're going to have to spend that money with a man to get it done. When your tire goes flat, you don't want to call your ex-boyfriend, but you call AAA, they're going to send a man. When your roof goes through hail damage, when you call the insurance company and call a claim in, guess what's going to happen? There's a man that's going to come out and redo your roof. Right? Everything, you need a man for everything. But that now we're painting a picture of delusion that men are not necessary. And so men have a lot to offer. I think that women are trying to dummy down the place of a man. That's why men now are wanting more men who are more feminine. They want men who can be their girlfriend, who want a man that can come in and put his elbow in the pillow and do pillow talk and sit around and pick dandelions together by the local park. And this is what we're dealing with. Women want more sensitive men now. And you see who the women, I'm going to say this and I'm done. You see the women who they're more drawn to now. They're more drawn to the more sensitive man. You better not say nothing about a man who is a homosexual man. They'll come and pull your head off your shoulders. But if you say somebody heterosexual man, you'll get more women ready to fight, cuss, argue. Yeah, girl, get it. But a homosexual man can come in with the new Under Armour thongs on, and they'll say, "Don't you say nothing about it because that's my home."
Oh, no.
Okay.
What catalog you see that in?
Well, it just reminded me. I meant to say Adidas because Adidas got grown ass men right now posing for their new commercial. They got them 2-piece bikini sets. So what I'm saying to you is that we're feminizing the whole situation of men. If you look around the world, everything is trying to soften up men. Everything. So I think men have a lot to offer. It's getting scary for people. That's why they're trying to dummy down who and what men are. And I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, I'll just say this really quickly. I think a man's service to his family is that he's on call 24/7, and that when the catastrophes happen in the family, when the roof starts leaking or when the toilet is stopped up, a man needs to spring into action. He needs to fix that problem. He needs to become a problem solver. I think that's his reasonable service. Yes, a lot of men are not going to cook a dinner every night. A lot of men are not giving the baths every night, right? That typically falls on a woman. I think a lot of the issue with women is they see their responsibility as being consistent. They're doing it every night, night in, night out. I think that they sometimes don't realize that when a man has to spring into action, it could be, backbreaking for 3 or 4 days in order for him to get that problem solved. They don't see it as being the same. But I think a reasonable service for a man and a family is that, when things are being called upon, and not even just within his own household. I can't tell you how many times I've had to go to my grandmother's house or go to my mother's house and fix a problem in their home because they're not married. So there's no man there. So I've got to go to their house and go fix their problems too. I think the reasonable service is to be available and be ready to fix problems whenever they arise.
One of the things I want to say about reasonable service, one of the essential services is to lead the family. But one of the things that leaders do, they listen. They offer others to give their input on what the problems are so that they can make a decision to fix it. A woman, or sometimes even children, will come, to the man and discuss the problems they might have. And once the man listens, he can make a decision on whether either dealing with the problem or not, or he can decide not to deal with it at all. And let's also not forget, when you're a leader, you're still part of a team, regardless. You're not above the team. So when you're talking about leading a family, you're trying to get things in order. Sometimes you have to hear from the family members. So I think that's one reasonable service that people can appreciate. And one last thing I want to say, there's all these different stereotypes from women saying that, being submissive to a man is slavery or oppression. No, it isn't. You just heard why.
Hey, Paulo.
Man, I don't know what type of wives y'all have, but my woman expressed her appreciation on a daily basis, whether it's a little note in my lunchbox or the fact that she stays up late making my lunch so it stays warm for the morning. I think we as men have to recognize and acknowledge that if you're a single in 2023 and you're looking to date and you're looking to marry a woman, 98% of the time you'll probably have to train her. Vast majority of these women don't have great men in their lives, nor do they have great examples of women who are wives. So unfortunately, as men, it now becomes our duty to train some of these women. I'll hand it back to the panel.
You can't even say train to a black woman. So it sounds like you from Australia, but I hear you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're gonna start something, brother. You might get kicked in the door.
Those fighting words, Marlo.
It sounds like you in Australia and got it made, but you can't say that out here.
Train who? Train who?
That's because
I know you talking about train to me.
You think
Train
I'm
who?
a dog? You think I'm an animal?
You think I'm a dog or something? Train who?
That's
You ain't my
because
daddy.
y'all have already pissed in the pool of conversation. That's why y'all have already ruined the word. Y'all have already. Okay, fair warning. I'm throwing a bomb here. Okay. Okay.
I'm finna throw a bomb right behind you too.
Y'all have already pissed in the pool of conversation when it comes to submission and everything. So whenever you say things like that, and this is why submission is like a bad word or whatever, it's because they automatically go to other conversations that they've heard involving the word submission, and it's a complete turnoff. And I'm gonna tell you, as somebody who submits to her husband, y'all, not y'all, but y'all in general in these spaces. It's the coin phrase here. Y'all make that shit sound horrible. It's not cute.
Women make it sound horrible.
But the thing is, though,
black men don't even use the word submit. So
right,
man,
right.
Black man.
Go ahead.
My brother, you around the same age I am. When when it was our time back in the day, what they used to say with somebody when they used to tell a man that's about to get married, what we used to run up to him and say, I heard you settling down. And what he would say, man, where you hear that from? With a big smile on his face. You tell a black woman settle down today, they'll catch an attitude with you. But when it was us at the head, we had no problem with the word settle down. So how the hell these women got a problem with the word submit? That's the same thing as that's just another word for cooperation. And that's the problem. These women.
But you know what though, bro? Let me tell you something. You know what it is? Why they don't want to hear it? It's two things. I'm gonna put two things out here on the table, guys. The first thing is I don't hear no black men asking no women to submit. Now some men do, but not all. But the thing is, what the mistake that men are making is that we're trying to turn booger wolves into real wolves. That's what's happening. We're trying to tell men, when you meet a woman, it should already be in her. She should already have the characteristics, that work ethic, the right. Nurturing mindset, she should already have these things in her. And if she does not have these things in her, throw her ass in waste management and let the trash truck come and get her. Right? But because we put too many women on a pedestal, we giving them a ladder when they don't know how to fix a roof. Get their asses down, and stop putting them on a pedestal. Some of these women don't deserve a man, don't need a man, and half of them then ruin the man. So let's just stop playing with these women and making them feel like they're everything when half of them ain't nothing. Let's just start right there. And then most of the time they want to complain and say, you can't tell me about submission. You're not my daddy. You're absolutely right. I'm not your daddy because he left your ass too.
But black man, it's conditional. She does know. Listen, these women, the issue is that they snitch on themselves because they do actually know what submission is. They know exactly what's required of them. They tell you that they know how because they will tell you that if they get the right man, they'll do it. So that infers and that implies that you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but it's conditional. You're simply saying that you need a set of certain circumstances in order for you to do what you should already be doing, regardless of what the man is doing. So if they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, it's just conditional. It's always conditional, especially in 2023 and moving forward. As I've said before, a lot of these guys, these women are not out of your league. A lot of them, they're out of your price range. For a lot of guys, they're just out of your price range because if you're making a certain amount of money, you have a certain type of status and a certain type of title, these women know exactly what's required of them. They will be in their house cooking and cleaning, just like any other woman in these traditional gender roles. But a lot of them, you have to get to a certain status, a certain point for them. And if you don't, they won't do it. It's all conditional, but they know exactly what's required of them. They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
You know what? I'm in Louisiana, right?
I
I'm
got
going to
something to
Louisiana.
say.
I'm about to bury my aunt, and on Saturday, and this is one. And this is one. This is
Black man, did you get?
no, I was about to bury. I'm about to bury my aunt on Saturday, right? I'm in Louisiana, and she was one of those women who was a nurturer, was submitted to her husband. And you know what's hard for me to see? It's hard for me to see this woman go in the ground this weekend, knowing that after her there is no
May her
legacy
soul
of
rest in
women
peace.
that are
May her
following
soul rest in
anything
peace.
that she's doing or that she did.
Last of a dying breed, huh?
May
Last
her
of
soul
a
rest in
dying breed.
peace.
Damn.
Let me
Thank y'all,
put
man. I
this.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm Black Man Unfiltered. Did you get my email address that somebody asked for? I don't know if you got it.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen.
Trigger.
I do have it. I got you.
Okay, good. Let me put this to
Hey,
quick.
Trigger.
It's the women's fault at all. I won't blame the women. I blame the men. This is how I blame the men. American men, whenever they approach women, even the one that they're going to friend or the one they're going to marry, all they think first is sex. They lead by sex, sexual impression. Oh, she got a big booty. She has this. I want a friend. I want a wife. Based on what based on her physicality. Men in this country think about woman material experience deep down into the relationship. That's how men think in this country. And guess what? In Nigeria, it has become the same way as well. Men think about her sexuality first, and then what she can bring in the house after 10 sex, 15 sex. It doesn't work like that. The reason why that dying generation was better than us, just like my dad that died earlier this year, the reason why they were better is because they led with what the woman is capable of doing in the household. Can she clean? Can she cook?
Mm-hmm. Is that it? You You sounded like you were about to start cooking. That's why I was like, okay.
Let the man.
He cooked some eggs real quick, but they was good though.
What exactly is Ekene saying? Is he saying is that we shouldn't be paying attention to her physical appearance at all?
He's absolutely right. So this is actually something that happened to me when I realized this is exactly what I was doing, where I do not enjoy the company of unintelligent women. And I've always been trained this way to say I've always been attracted to the whole woman, the whole experience of the woman. So this is why boys are sometimes really in love with women if their mom is a good woman, the women that are just like their mom. Are you nurturing? Do you take care of a house? Do you not complain when you do it? Are you taking care of other people that come into this house? So I've always found a real I've been drawn to women like that. And then I realized at some point, after college, I just realized when you go out, you don't find these women at the club. You find these women in the library. You find these women naturally. This is why men usually end up marrying women they know well. Right. So it's just like I know the way she is. I know how she answers every question. I know she won't complain about dishes. This is just who she is. She cooks, she cleans, she serves, no matter what. And in order to make sure that my legacy is secured and that if I ever have a daughter, she ends up just like her or just like my mom was, I'm going to marry that woman. Men don't do that anymore. They be
Yeah,
like that.
But Trigger Mike,
but
but
Trigger,
Trigger Mike,
I'm
why
trying to
do I
find out
supposed
though.
to be nurturing? Why do I have to be nurturing? I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother. I don't have to
You're
nurture
gonna
you.
be
I'm
my
not your
wife.
mother.
Trigger, I'm,
Trigger
I'm, I'm,
Mike.
I'm also asking the question is Ekane's point that I shouldn't be sexually attracted to her first?
Oh no, you're going to be. You're going to be.
Hey,
That's
hey,
actually
hey, Mike.
necessary for me. Hey, Mistaken, how you doing?
Good.
Okay,
I
I
just want
think
everybody to know that I am the inspiration for this topic. But
She
a
don't like washing
question.
dishes, y'all. She don't like watching dishes.
Yeah, I hate. Ever since I was a kid, that was one of. I will clean toilets. I will scrub a floor, clean a bathroom. I hate doing dishes. That's just
How
one
can you
chore that
like
I
the
hate.
toilet more than dishes? That was actually my chore in the house.
That's
I would have
wild as
done
hell.
dishes over that.
I prefer because I mean when you have the cleaning the toilet takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if a guy was using it or a girl was using it, you have to clean it a little more thoroughly when boys use it because they get anywhere but in the toilet. So I like listening to these, YouTube streets because y'all make me appreciate my husband more and more every day. And I tell him he's actually seen a change in me since I've been in these YouTube streets because I recognize that I was taking things that he did for me for granted because, like one of the guests said, it was an expectation. Just like he had certain expectations of me, I had certain expectations of him. But listening to how much you guys say that y'all should not have to do, it makes me appreciate how much he do. Because there was a point in time that I would say the mindset of him growing up in a single household. His mom was married, but they, separated when he was, younger. So he grew up seeing his mom do everything. So when we got together, the expectation was he saw his mom doing everything, so he expected me to do everything. And I had to have, and I think some of the conditioning in the way that I was brought up is that, yes, the woman is supposed to take care of the home. She's supposed to be the helpmate. She's supposed to take care of the kids, all this while working, right? And it got to the point that it's very difficult for a woman to maintain that level of work with minimal assistance. And I know some of you guys say, well, women from other cultures, they do it, but y'all are speaking for them in a sense of as if it was an option. What you guys are looking at is the option. Now you have women that have the option. So if the option is to do all of these things, work full time, go to school full time, taking care of the house full time, taking care of the kids full time, taking care of the husband full time, and the husband just works to provide, of course they're not going to choose that because that level of being able to maintain that type of work on a daily basis is impossible.
What?
And
Impossible?
I had because
Impossible.
Yes. No, it's impossible. It's impossible to the level of you being able to get your needs met as well.
Oh no.
So yes, I can do. So hold on. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt anybody. Let me just get this off. So something is going to have to give. And unfortunately, I would not be in a position to be your freak in the sheets as often as you would want if I'm having to take care of all of these other things. And I'm saying this not as a suppose or just in case. I'm speaking from experience. When me and my husband in the earlier years, when me and my husband got together, we moved in before we actually got married. But we already had our son. I was working full time as a teacher, going to college full time, so I wasn't getting off until the evening. I would come home. My son wasn't bathed. I had to bathe him. Dinner wasn't cooked. So I had to cook dinner. And it got to a point that I said, why am I in this situation? I'm being a single mom, my soon-to-be husband in a home. So when we had a come to Jesus moment, and that was the thing, he was like, well, my mom did. And I said, the difference is your mom was a single mom. I should not be living a single mom life with a man in the house. I just shouldn't.
Did you listen to this panel?
Y'all
Because
didn't. Hold on. You didn't have to come to Jesus. You had to come to this.
Yeah, she done fucked up.
Let me just say this. If
You
she
done
listens
fucked
to this
up.
panel, if she listens to this panel,
bring your ass back up here.
if she
Okay,
acts
this
like
is
she
what
didn't listen
happened,
to this
right? I
panel,
think
every
one thing
man
that she was
on
saying
this
that you guys
panel
will.
said that if your wife is working, we would chip in. Every single man said that. For her to come up here and act like no man said that we understand if your wife is out working, that we'd have to share the duties. Every man on this panel said that. She's gaslighting every single one of us. I mean, so
Our pain,
we can't get
I'm
nowhere.
hold
If a woman,
on.
wait a
I'm
minute,
sorry.
wait,
I'm driving. I'm
we listen
sorry.
to
I was
you.
driving, so I cut. I was driving, so I cut out for a bit. So hold on. I will. Come on, you're the last one that needs to be talking as much as you run your mouth. You run your mouth like me. No, I didn't finish. No, I didn't finish.
Oh,
I
we
didn't
got a
finish.
queen on aisle 3.
I did not finish. Sir,
Richie,
I did not finish. I did not finish. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Calm down.
So my point was,
Today's show is sponsored by Married Feminists of America.
Let her finish. Okay?
My point was,
you guys let her finish, please.
my point was, is after I had the conversation with him to let him know how overwhelmed I was and where I can use the assistance and use the help and support, so it will provide me enough time to be with him in the way that he wanted his time spent with me. Once we had that conversation, he started assisting with at least prepping dinner, before I got home. So only thing that I had to do was just throw stuff together if I needed to. And then also he made sure that at the very least my son ate. So he was like, if you could buy some Chef Boyardee or just something that I could put together really quick, because he would load them up on snacks until I got home. And it was late, so he shouldn't have been eating that late. So he took care of those things. And just alleviating some of that stuff off my plate, he got a better me for him. And so when I hear you guys talk about all these things, I think realistically, that's not what happens in most households. I think most men who are married understand the concept of sharing certain responsibilities. And I think that's the message that we need to push, because if that's the case, a lot of women are going to be the same way that you guys are in not wanting to get married, because they're going to see that they're taking on so much without necessarily having the support that they would.
Everybody married up here, though.
Hold on, Mr. Payne. So basically what she's saying is the helpmate need help.
Absolutely.
All I heard was he pulled out some raviolis.
Everybody around this panel talked about, who's married, talked about how we help out with our wives if they're working. Every single one of us.
That's right.
I agree. That's what I said.
No. You kept saying that you guys.
You kind of called us pieces of shit. You did.
Yeah, you just
get our pain.
So we take that shit personally, because it's like you're not listening to the panel. This panel was actually telling men. We actually started out telling men that if you have your wife out there working, you got to do shit around the house. That's the purpose of this panel. And you came up here acting like we were just the same old mother croppers on YouTube. Well, I take offense to that.
I just heard you say that you don't touch it. You haven't touched a dish in 30 years.
Yes.
I'm just saying,
Damn,
in my,
man, get
so
That's part of the agreement
I'm
what I
just
have
saying,
with my wife.
He
I'm
has
just
to
saying,
draw
don't think
mistaken
in
in
those
Wait,
his
That's
30
the
hold
years.
on,
agreement I
Miss
have
Shaky.
with my
Hold on, hold
wife.
on, hold on, hold on. To be
Okay.
fair, we can literally go one over another over things women have also not touched. So I have not
Right.
touched the dish, and I will not touch it. In fact, I
Right.
do actually like rinse. Like if it's something I just drank and she just
I
washed
cut the
dishes, I am
grass.
about to throw it in there. I'll rinse
I
my
wash
cup
my
out.
own clothes.
But I was like, I do my
I
own
make
laundry.
all the money.
When the last time
I
you
do all of that
seen a woman
stuff.
touch a flat tire? When the last time you seen a woman touch a lawnmower?
A
That's the
shovel.
thing.
Can I make
I
a
don't
point?
change tires and mow
Let's
grass
be
every day. Trigger
let's
Mike.
be honest. Most men
No,
are not
Color Dave,
changing
you're talking
tires or
about women,
cutting
but don't have
grass.
men.
They are outsourcing a lot of their chores that they normally would do, especially if you have
No,
a
most
house.
men are actually out cutting their
Typically,
grass.
typically you are a man of means, and a lot of times when you have a lot of men, and I've seen it where they outsource. So you just got finished saying not
So
too long ago your son is
you're gonna
called
penalize the
Hector.
man
Hold
because he
on, Miss
makes
Shaky.
money?
First
You're
y'all
gonna
call
call
us broke.
Because he makes
Hector.
money.
Hold on,
You're
y'all.
taking
Hold on,
forever.
y'all.
Let's
First
put
y'all
it this
call
way.
us broke. Now we're a man of means getting people to pay
Yeah.
for our
No, I
goddamn.
said if you have a home. I said
You're a
if you have
trickster,
a
Shaky.
home.
That's fair.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
said if you have a
you can't
home.
win. You
Mr.
can't win
Taken,
with
Because
women.
think
let
about
You
it.
me
can't
say
win
this.
I
because
grew up.
now that I
I
have
grew
enough
up.
money, that I can
You
hire
damn
somebody
right,
Okay.
to
Look,
Wickham. I
cut
don't
my
cut my
grass for
grass
me,
listen.
to fix my
Bacon,
leaks
they
for
have
me.
stopped
Now
listening,
I'm not
honey.
doing it.
They have stopped
Yeah, I
listening. They're
know
not
because
listening
they
to
don't
you.
like the
Miss
truth.
Taken, Miss
They don't like
Taken,
the
Trigger
truth.
Miss
Mike.
Taken.
Hold on.
They
I
don't.
can ask Miss Taken a question. Miss Taken, I have a question for you, sweetheart, if I can. You said you
Do
would
you
come
really want me to
home and have.
answer it?
Yeah, I really do want you to answer it, sweetheart. And
Okay.
I'm going to give you the floor to do it after I answer. After I ask you the question, okay? So you said when
Yes.
you were going to school before you had the conversation with your husband, you said you would come home and bathe your son. How old were you? How old was your son at the time? If
He
you don't mind
was.
me asking.
Well, we moved here when he was 3. So at the time, he was between the age of 1 and 3 years old.
Okay, so you said that. So okay, now that was one question. But my statement to you would be, sometimes we choose. Sometimes as men, we make decisions and we have to live with those decisions. Trigger Mike, myself, and other men on the panel who have families and wives and children, we have to sometimes make the harder decisions to say, you know what? I was always raised to say, hey son, my dad told me your job don't stop when you get home, right? And so I made a decision to work a job that I work 12 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day. When I get home, my son need me, right? Or if my daughter need me, my daughter need me. My daughter say, hey dad, I need you to help me with this science project. Okay, she needs me, right? So I can't come home as a man. I can't come home after 14 hours and tell my family, well, you know what? I worked all day. I had to get all work, go put gas in the car, in my truck, fill my truck up, stop by the grocery store. I had to go pick up the stuff from the pharmacy. I had to go pick up the baby formula. And now I'm at home and I don't think I should have to be doing all this every day. I don't think I should have to be coming in helping with science projects and helping my daughter. No, we don't get that. Men don't get the opportunity to do that. Men go to work. We don't complain about it. We go to work out 14 hours, come home and do what we have to do at the house, around the house, for our daughter, for our son, show up at football games, show up at basketball games. And you talk from experience. I'm talking from experience. I've worked those many hours. I'm at the football games. I'm at the basketball games, tired as shit at the basketball games, at the football games, at the softball games, right? So I don't get a chance. I don't get an opportunity to make an excuse because I chose to be married. I chose to be a father, and anything that I choose to do for my family, I can't use my family as an excuse on why I'm too tired. We don't get the liberty to do that. So then, if we're equal, like we're saying in the world right now, men and women are equal. If we're equal, doesn't that same thing go for the women as well? You don't get that opportunity to complain about something you chose to do. You chose to go back to school. You chose to do that. So if you're too tired to do it, then maybe you need to regulate your time and pull back on some things because family is priority, not school.
I could not, and that was why I was priority. I was doing it for the family. Just starting out, getting out of college. At that time I was not married. I'm gonna keep it real. I did it out of order. So I also had to plan ahead just in case if this did not work. I needed to set myself up in a position that if we did not get married, that I was financially secure enough, making enough money to be a, I guess technically I would be a single mom, but to raise a child on my own, or if I had to. So I had to think long term. I wasn't just thinking for that moment. I didn't have a ring on my finger yet. I was just knocked up at that point, living with my baby's father. He was my baby's father at that time. So that wasn't that was a priority for.
So let me real quick. I'm going to interject real quick. So do you think life would have been better? Yeah, and this is just a question because there's a lot of things that we talk about in this space as well. Do you think life would have been better if you would have followed the philosophy of marry before you carry, have a husband, have an established marriage, and then have a family? Do you think life would have been better on you then? Things would have been easier on you if you would have took the right road to do that?
Oh, absolutely. 100% it would have, because the decisions I made at that time was of the mindset of making sure my son was going to be okay.
Right. So we can't complain about the decisions that we made, though.
Right.
Right. But we can't complain.
I can't complain about. Well, the part that I complain about is the decision that I made is, yes, I decided to have my child. I decided that we moved in with each other so things could be easier on the both of us. Now, the other choice that I could have made was stay home with my mom, where I was getting the help that I needed when I had my son, because she was dropping me off at school. I was riding the bus 2 hours to get to classes and back. So that was 4 hours of travel time every day. My mom would pick my son up for daycare, help drop him off, drop him off to daycare in the morning. So the choice that I made was to bring my family together, a family unit with my son. If I was only thinking about me, I would have fared better at that time.
So we're having an adult conversation. So I'm gonna ask the real questions here. The decision making could have had the decision making for me. This is me thinking logically here, because this is what men do. The decision making process should have been, you know what? Hold on, let me ask you this question first, because I don't want to assume. So did you plan to have the child, or the child just sprung up on you?
Honestly, I know everybody gonna be like, oh, I didn't think that I would be able to have children. I had found out that I had something called PCOS, which makes it difficult for you to get pregnant. When the doctor told me that, they said, when you plan on having children, you're probably gonna need help. So my mindset was, oh, I can't get pregnant. Lo and behold, God had something different for me, and I ended up pregnant without being intentionally trying to get pregnant.
Right. My thing is the decision making is, for me, this is just logically thinking here. No offense to you, but a lot of times when men get together and have these conversations, we also talk about the decision making of the 33. And when I say the decision making of the 33 is representing contraceptives. And so even though a doctor may say I may not be able to have a child, or one day I may be able to have one, but I may need a little help, the power of the 33 could have put you in a better position. The point that I'm trying to make when I said that is not to be offensive to you, but to recommend a different perspective. If we make what my mom used to tell me when I was a kid, son, you made that bed and you must lie in it. And son, you're not going to sit here and my mom now said, you're not going to sit here and complain about some decisions that you made. She said, what you have to do is you have to learn how to balance those decisions out that you made. So if I got a baby young, which I did not, I wait till I got married to have children. But if I did have kids outside of the house, my mom would have made me say, hey, listen, you made the choice to go get a baby outside. You made a choice to get this young lady pregnant, and you're going to have to accept the responsibility. You want to go to school? Okay. You got to go to school now. You got to go bath your baby now. You got to go change your baby now. You got to go get formula now. You got to go get Pampers now. And you got to clean up your house. You got to go and pay your bills because you added something to your life that you could have waited on or prevented. This is the point that we're making. We complain about these things, but we're not making decisions to prevent them.
Black man
I
unfiltered.
I
There is a
agree.
reason.
I
Black man
definitely
unfiltered. There is a
agree.
reason why some
Not
of us
only that,
didn't
my
have
mom
kids.
told me not to move in with him or I'll end up pregnant. And
That's
guess
a
what?
great
I
mother.
didn't
A
listen
great
to her.
mother.
Yeah, I didn't listen to her. And
You
she
didn't
was
listen to that?
absolutely right.
Check this
I
out.
didn't.
Check,
I
I got
didn't.
something to
Because
say.
in
I
my
got
mind,
something to
I'm
say
like,
real
well,
quick.
we
Let me
already
put
been
this out.
together 3 years, keeping it real. I'm like, we've already been having sex for 3 years. I didn't end up pregnant now. So moving in my mind,
What?
that solidified the fact that I couldn't get
On
pregnant.
I
So
just
So
on
when we
average,
moved in with each
it
other,
takes a couple 70 times before they get pregnant. Just so you
so
know.
would you agree? Right.
look,
So
so
would you
in my
agree?
mind, I'm gonna be honest. In my mind, that solidified that I couldn't get pregnant because we've been dealing with each other for 3 years. Of course, at that point, we were raw dogging it by that time. I never ended up pregnant.
yeah.
Never had a scare.
Something
So
about a
in my
woman staying
mind, I
raw
was
dog.
like, "Oh, I'm good." We moved in with each
Yeah.
other.
Once you move, listen. Once you
3
move in with
months.
somebody,
Yeah, 3
it's
months.
a
I was
wrap.
pregnant.
It's
It was
a
a wrap.
wrap. Literally anywhere, anytime. I'm just randomly waking up and she decided to just let her towel slip. Yeah, go ahead and lift that leg up right here, right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna get pregnant quick as shit when you move in with a dude.
Yeah. 3 years,
So
no pregnancy
Okay,
scares.
this is
3
one thing that I
months,
want to say.
I was pregnant.
This is one thing
3
I want
months.
to say.
Yeah.
If you look at life, when the reason why some of us didn't get women pregnant,
Ekene, your
when
mic is jacked up, bro.
Yeah, something's wrong with your mic,
It's
Ekene.
Jack Mike Day. Hold on, let me fix
Yeah,
it.
the Trigger Mike show is sponsored by Cricket Wireless.
My
yeah, I
R2D2
think
was Star
every
Wars.
mic. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah, I
Yes.
fixed your mic. Go ahead.
Okay. So the problem is this, right? The reason why some of us didn't get women pregnant when we were in our 20s is because in our family we knew the consequences, and the consequences was right in our face. You see what I'm saying? That's why most of us didn't make that
Had
mistake.
that $300 ready.
Because we know what all of us were ready. I tell you, I was ready at the age of 15. But guess what? I knew the consequences from the age of 10. so I didn't even try it. But but one thing is this, right? When a man has to argue with his wife or his woman over domestic stuff, he better let her go. Straight up. Don't go into relationship with a woman that is going to argue with you over fixing domestic stuff. My dad and my mom were married for 30 something years. My dad for that 30 something years till the day he died never washed a single damn plate in the house. But he loves to cook but never cooked. He only cooked when there is a need for it, but never cooked. But I know he's a good cook because once in a while he would just do it, put things together, and I'm like, wow. But when it comes to using the head of the goat to make some meat stuff, he was good at it. He's just badass, man. But what I'm trying to say is this, right? We shouldn't even have this conversation because that tells us how lazy our women have become. Our women are damn too lazy.
Yeah.
Very, very lazy. So lazy that they will not even wake up in the morning to take care of a child that is crying, that they poo-poo. You see what I'm saying? That's how lazy. But these are things that our mothers did, our grandmothers did. They had a child in their back, they tilled the ground, they farmed, and still took care of domestic activities without complaining. No washer and dryer, no washing machine, no microwave, no dishwasher. They did every single thing with their own hands, and they lived to 100 and something years old. But now we have a bunch of lazy people in our society crying over washing plate that they barely wash. They wash 50% of it, and dishwasher does the rest. They never use their hands to wash the cloth. They just put the cloth in the dishwater. The washer wash it, and the dryer dries it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And men have made this world so comfortable for our women. The more we make life comfortable for them, the more lazier they complain. I have come to the conclusion that our women are just jealous that they are not men.
That is it. That's it.
They're just jealous that they are not men. And especially black women have demonstrated so much that they are so pissed off for not being men. No, I'm coming mistaken. I'm coming mistaken.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm
So
next, Mr.
they
Higgins.
have become so lazy because I don't see even any. I know my grandmother. I saw my grandmother worked her ass off, cook for us, till the ground, went to farm, did everything, come home, cooked, and she was 70 years at that time. Never complained for one day.
So
And now we have women that cry over washing cloth that they don't even wash.
So so this is not every woman. This is not to speak to every woman doing this, but that was my ultimate point about why women wash dishes and or perform most domestic duties. If you are a mother, you're going to end up in that role somehow naturally. And that's why we asked the question, if you are someone who resents and cannot maintain a good home, can you be a good mom? And more than often in today's society, just like Ikene said, the answer is no. The modern women are terrible mothers. Statistically speaking, you're the most depressed mothers, you're the most abusive mothers. You see what I'm saying? You spend the least amount of time with your children, and you also pawn them off on people. Like you delete
Mike,
children.
can I just ask a question? What is considered modern woman? Like what age range?
I would say
trying to figure out.
I would now say more of millennials and definitely Gen Z. All of them Gen Z. 90s
So what
millennials
age
and
range
Gen
is
Z.
okay?
Trigger. That
90s and on.
That shit is a
Okay.
mindset. I see 80-year-old women on these platforms talking like modern women. That shit up here, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with age no more.
So it's actually
Okay,
going
so
all the
you're
way
saying
back.
modern women is
all the way
mindset,
back.
not age.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the way back. It goes all the way back to Gen X, but it's split. Like you still find some good women depending on the region they're from. Like that's when I think Gen X is when they said New York women started going nuts and like started their single motherhood started going crazy. But you'll still find good women in those groups. All 90s millennials and Gen Z are fucked. Their mind, like literally the majority of them are not good prospective wife candidates. So that's really who I'm speaking to. Like when we say all of them follow the same doctrine. And really the issue is just like Ikene said, they're just jealous that they're not men. They remember.
I don't think it's jealousy, Mike. I think it's more of resentment in a sense. I think you said that earlier.
It is resentment, but it's resentment for their role that women have to do. Like men do not remember. Men cannot negotiate anything that we're supposed to do, and they get resentment. They get resentful that the child. So this is the funniest thing about gender roles with children. Children will tell you whose role is what. When a child cries and wants their diaper changed, they're running to, like, nobody has to tell them to run to their mom for this. That's why I pay a lot of attention to what nature dictates. The child will tell you whose role is what. The child will go pinch mom's leg when he or she is hungry, but you wanna split everything equal. Like children will tell you this is your role. And the one thing we never acknowledge is that women intentionally give more of their energy to work as if that because that's what they want to do. They think that's what men do and they want to be celebrated in that way. Nobody asked them to expel that much energy at work. They want to do that. And you know what the funniest thing about that is? All of the high achieving women that I know that are in their 50s and 60s, like some of them are the what do you call it, mothers that are like mentoring my wife in their family groups. These mothers say one specific thing. Nobody cares how many hours I worked. Nobody felt the hours I worked except for my children. They're the only ones who remember that I work late. And I neglected them. I have bad relationships with my children because I nurtured the job and not them. So every woman that's doing that is going to end up regretting it and then try to make it up on the mother end. Nobody gives a fuck how many hours you work. And nobody's going to remember all that overtime except your kids because those are the hours you didn't spend with them. I think that's very important to know for women. All right, so we're going to get final thoughts. I got to go pick up my car from the dealership and eat some lunch. I'm always hungry. I'm tired of skipping meals because of y'all. Y'all make me sick. All right, Trey, final thoughts.
Yeah, women ain't washing no dishes anyway. Dishwasher washing.
Get Maria to watch it. And let me say this too. If y'all make so much damn money, Made Pro ain't that much. All right, get them to come through 2 times a week if you really don't care. And then we wouldn't
I'd
have this
rather
problem.
not spend my money on that. If
Oh,
we can do it
I guess we
together,
had a stalemate.
no, I mean, my thing is I would rather spend my money on other things that I want to do. So if me and my husband could work together to get stuff done instead of outsourcing it and use that money to do other things, like go out on a date, or I'd rather do that. But
No, I'd rather
in
pay the
terms,
money so the women can shut the hell up. That'd be my peace of mind. I'd rather do that than go on a date. Anything
why
to get
not
y'all to
go?
shut the hell up is money well spent in my eyes.
But we're still gonna be complaining that we don't go out.
Oh shit.
Oh,
That's my
Jesus
point.
Christ.
Oh,
That's my
Oh,
point. So just go ahead and help. If you help,
oh,
then we have money to. We won't complain about you not helping,
oh,
and we got money to go out. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But what I'm gonna
oh.
say is my statement is somebody said negotiate in roles or what have you. I just think it's a matter of taking care of what needs to be done. And I think sometimes we get caught up in the role aspect as opposed to the serving each other aspect, where the service needs to be. So my advice or my closing comment would be for a happy marriage, not necessarily just dutiful. I want a dutiful, happy marriage, is to serve one another in the way that each is needed.
Yeah.
And don't get so caught up on the role itself.
I will also say
them gutters need to be clean. Get up on a ladder and make it happen.
My
I didn't know
husband
that
doesn't need
either.
to do
I'm
that.
paying Jorge to do that.
We got the gutters that the leaves don't fall in. So
I'm not
he doesn't
talking
have
about
to
you
worry about that.
specifically. I'm talking about
Oh,
the
she got the
majority
leaf
of women who
filter,
don't
Dre. What
have
you got
that.
to say about that? She got leaf filter.
There is nothing in that
You know why?
household
You know
that
why she?
I
You know why she
don't.
probably has a leaf filter? Because the
okay,
husband
final
doesn't. The
thoughts,
husband was
man.
smart enough to
Final
realize he didn't want
thoughts.
to do that. But most women don't
No,
have that, and
Yeah,
and
you're
I
right.
don't
I'm gonna
see
be
I don't see them.
honest.
I don't see them climbing. I don't see them climbing up on ladders to go clean it. I don't see them
There
doing it.
is nothing in my household, and I'm just speaking for me. And I can say this to women that I've been around in terms of who are married, like my siblings and stuff like that who are married. There is nothing in my household that I do not contribute to in terms of health. If it's yard work, I'm out there with my husband helping yard work. If it's work inside the house, we're both working towards whatever needs to be done in the house. So there's nothing that he can say. Like this morning, he had to go to work. I'm out for the summer because I'm a teacher, but I don't stop working. That's the time that all of the honey-do list stuff that never got done, guess who does it? So I was out power washing the fence this morning, power washing the side of the house, planting seeds and for the in our garden. I was doing all of those things. So in the summer,
Good. I need
that's what
you
I
to get your
do.
fellow. I need you to get your
Good.
fellow sisters on it.
I need you
I'm
to
glad that
call your lazy
you're
ass,
doing it, but I need you to
call
get
your
your fellow
lazy
sisters on it
ass
because they're not doing it.
homegirls, your sisters in love, and tell them they slipping out here. Well, I mean, so mistaken. That's actually the actual point, because if you heard any part of the, not even just the monologue, us talking, it is not about the man at all. Women just resent the fact that they have to do anything outside of what being a woman of leisure dictates. We do have lazy ass women. That's what I'm saying. Millennials and Gen Z are the laziest women alive. That is evidenced by the fact that because and it shows itself in all facets of life. It shows itself at work. They only want to do what they want to do. They don't want to do anything they don't have to do, or things that they don't agree with that are better defined as service. Right? They don't get service out of helping others. They don't get happiness out of serving others. That is the point of this. Like, there are women that literally twerk and dance to Jill Scott while they wash dishes and clean their house, and they're happy to do it because it's for their family. We don't got those type of women no more. So that's why the ethnic switch is necessary. All these Mexicans, all these Costa Rican, Venezuelan women coming in here, all the men about to choose their ass over our lazy ass women, because that is what wife material looks like. A woman that does that shit without complaint and is happy to do so. And we also stated that in this particular time, men do help. We just don't complain. And I wrote this down. Let me write this down because it's important. Or let me say this out loud. It's important to know. Have y'all noticed that women that women don't seem to acknowledge the work or the help that men give if we aren't stressed out as they are doing it. Watching my kids does not stress me out. So I never hear that included in the list of things I do. You see what I'm saying? It has to kick your ass for a woman to acknowledge it. That I'm telling you, just now that I've said it, watch how y'all start seeing it. If I go do something that stresses the fuck out of her, if I start washing dishes, if I'm a stay-at-home dad and the kids are asleep and all of that, because it was easy for me, she's gonna want to tack on something else to it. They only like to acknowledge things that make you sweat as much as it does. Nothing is as hard for us as it is for you because y'all feel more units of stress per stressful event. So I think that's what women resent. Not only that they have to do work, but it's because it's hard for you to do it.
Yeah.
You know what's about to stress me out right now is the fact that I just got off of work, came downstairs, and one of my little rotten sons left this Hot Pocket bullshit on the back of my damn chair.
Pocket, baby. You got a Hot Pocket, boy. You got boys, right?
Yeah. Look at this shit.
That's the boy
Why is this
move,
on the back of my chair?
Look at the Hot Pocket wrapper.
I'm saying, like, what?
It's for convenience.
It's not the big stuff. It's
Yo, I don't know how kids still eat those things. I tried one to be nostalgic. What the hell are they putting in that stuff now? I was a plain pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket eater. That stuff did not taste like it did in the 90s.
Yeah, they got like ham and cheese and all kinds of nasty shit now.
No, the crust is all like
the
yellow.
crust is different too.
Yeah, it used to just be white. That was the good Hot Pocket. Let the juice from the pepperoni soil the bread up a little bit. That's the way I like it. I don't know what the hell they got now, but I gotta get out of here, y'all.
But yeah, you was talking about emotional stress.
Anybody got any final thoughts before we get out of here, Paulo, Dr. Steele?
Yeah, I just wanted to say it sort of took me back to this one video that a couple of content creators did a reaction on. This black woman who says she's not doing anything, she's not doing work, and how her husband works 2 jobs to give her the things she want, not need. Want now.
Exactly.
Want. Yeah.
You know, that's a video girl and known commodity amongst NBA players. They pass that woman around like she's a rubber band. Okay, so that woman like really needed to shut up.
She's a grain of salt chick. Just a grain of salt chick. She got her little 2 seconds of fame. I wouldn't even pay her no mind.
Yeah.
Now, and let me say this. I mean, her man works 2 jobs, right? Now, after you work 2 jobs, and believe me, I've been there, you get stressed out, you get exhausted, and everything. And the thing that made me think about that video was, well, if that man comes in all stressed out, I mean, will she do anything to nurture him? I doubt it. The way her attitude is. The thing is this, you know, this is why we need helpmates. Okay? We're coming in from work, beat up, stressed out, tired, or what have you. And yet, and believe me, as a single man, you know, I have to do everything. And it's starting to get tiring for a while. So, yeah, men need that extra help, need that extra set of hands, you know, to make sure the house is in order. Yeah, to make sure that the house is in order so that the man can, well, I wouldn't say rest, because sometimes she's going to need help with something as well. You know, 2 pairs of hands sometimes can be better than 1. That's my final thought.
So real quick, I just think we're making this thing more complicated. I mean, before we just got gaslit. You know, the fact is that I think most men who are working, who have a wife that's working, understand that you share duties. As simple as that. Whatever those duties are, that's different in every household. And if you see something that needs to be done, yeah, you'll probably do it because it needs to be done. So I just think that we complicate issues that shouldn't even be a discussion. Now, even if you're paying all the bills, like I did for the last, I don't know, 20 years, whatever it is, 25 years. I still help around the house. I didn't change the things I did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because chasing around kids that's like 3 and 7 or 4 and 7, whatever it is an exhausting duty,
Yep.
right? And they're doing everything else. And so I knew that, hey, listen, if I want to honor you this evening, I'd have to make sure that I paved the way for that shit. These are just kind of understanding the nature of women, the nature of things. And I think a lot of guys already kind of know that. So I just think that we don't really talk plainly on these panels, or we'll have somebody come up and we say, every man on here saying, listen, if I'm married, my wife works, I'll do some chores, right? But we have somebody come up and say, like, you guys don't never want to do nothing. That's just bullshit. So we're not really getting to conclusions or solving issues if we can't have honest discussions on that. It's good that Miss Taken says, listen, I have a compromise with my husband, but that should have been the basis of her conversation, as opposed to telling everybody that we don't want to do nothing. That's bullshit.
It's irritating when we never said it.
Yeah.
It's strange.
So I understand it there. Let's have a real conversation. You married, you work, your husband works, we share duties. That's the way it should be.
And I just want to,
maybe it shouldn't be called 50-50, by the way.
And I just want to say this because I meant to phrase it as a question. I for some reason I got this suspicion that modern women prioritize leisure for their kids, especially their daughters, over teaching them domestic duties. Don't ask your husband for help if your daughter is 6 years old or older.
Oh, yeah.
Your daughter better be helping you. She better be learning. Your son too, I don't even care. But if you sitting there saying your kids can sit down and pressuring your husband, something is seriously wrong with you. Like, I think I've heard it a few times where women are like, let the kids play. You should be helping me. No, your kids should be helping you. Literally, I picked up I think I had the vacuum. Then I was older. I was cutting the grass and taking out the trash. I would get in trouble if it stunk or it was filled up. Like, so we had the serious chores we had to do coming home from school every single day. So if you are a grown woman sitting there looking and hating on your husband because he's not helping you, but you got kids that are 6 years old, something wrong with you.
It's funny you said that, Mike. I would be real quick because my daughter helped me with the yard work, and if she wanted allowance, she had to wash my car.
Yep.
She had to wash my car. That's how she, you want something extra, you wash my car. That kind of stuff. So I hear you. I don't understand. I don't think it's that complicated. Some things that we make up, maybe it's the modern era, like Trey says. But, these things I didn't have to learn from my grandparents. Just some of this shit just makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's get these super chats read. Big Ant. Oh, no, go ahead, Callie Bear. My bad.
I was going to say, I think it's the fear of embarrassment of your peers. So, whatchamacallit, like how you said, you have a compromise with your wife or whatever, as far as what the chores are in the house, or, you know what I'm saying? You guys help each other out. Some peers would say, that's simping. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like the women, when the women say, I do what my husband asks me to do, well, then that's picking. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times it's just, I think it's the apprehension of admitting that, you do these things for fear of being, I guess, shamed, for lack of a better word, or ridiculed.
All right, let's get these super chats read. $10. Big Ant, my man. I'm not getting married, and the day I say I do, Trigger Mike's going to be the Reverend. I'll do that. Amen. I just want you to know that I'm instituting prima nocta. Look up what that is. And I'll only be your Reverend if I get to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Chorus Blossom, $5. Thank God for the Lapeef Network. It's been over a year since I met at Robert H, and we are going strong. Stay tuned. Oh, okay. Talk your shit then, Chorus Blossom. You know how many people met over like these networks? That's crazy. I think JB and Cam, and that's dope though. I ain't gonna lie, that's dope.
Y'all out here producing relationships.
Yeah. Fantasy Island lies. They didn't annotate abuse when We were kids getting hit with switches and extension cords. They dared us to call the police. Who knows what she talking about? Because I damn sure don't.
Oh man, Fantasy Alley Girl's crazy, man.
I
Jeez.
know what she's talking about.
Yeah, who said something about that? Was I in the back or something?
Oh no, not on the panel.
It's
It
Fantasy.
Oh.
said though.
Who knows what she's talking about?
She just brought it up, man, out of the clear blue.
My man, Furious Styles, thanks for having me, boss. I'll be back soon. You are always welcome. Quentin's brother, looking just like him. Thanks to everybody for the super chats, man. Dope show today. We are glad to be back. I will be back again tomorrow, same time. You already know what it is. Thanks to everybody on the panel for coming out.
Hey,
Y'all are
good to
much
have you back,
appreciated
Mike.
and always welcome. We will see y'all tomorrow again on the Trigger Mike Show. Thank y'all for coming through. And yeah, great show today. I appreciate that. So there you have it. We laid it out. Why women wash dishes. All right, go back and rewatch this. Also, give a watch to the King Talk from last night. That was such a dope episode. I think a lot of y'all will get a lot from that as well. Tomorrow, I will be hosting the big show on Lapeef Let's Talk. Don't know the topic yet, but y'all already know we're going to get down on that show, how we do it. I think we got a lot of your favorites coming back. So from last week and some people coming on. So, you know, Lapeef is going to do his thing with creating that panel. So stay tuned for the big news for that and what the topic is. But yes, I will be hosting that show tomorrow. So if you are a Trigger Mike fan, please make sure you tune in for that. Hit the like button on your way out and please hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the Lapeef Network if you have not, and also share this out to everybody to let them know this is what you're watching to get you through your workday. We always appreciate your support here on the Lapeef Network. Keep on showing your support, and we will keep trying to give you hot content. Thank y'all for coming through. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'm out.